Oh, welcome to Good Friends, Good Games. It is March 18th. It's 12:30 in the afternoon on the Pacific. We got our family here today. We got Dil.
Bleh.
We got Zenith. He's got
He's just slowly drinking his coffee, ready for the opportunity to talk shit.
coffee.
Hi guys. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. So before we get started here, we got two important matters. One, our buddy Dil has never seen a Tootsie Roll or know what a Tootsie Roll was.
I mean, it looks like a piece of candy.
I thought you were gonna say dog turd because it literally does.
Well,
Tootsie Rolls literally
also
do look
looks
like dog turd.
It looks like that, yeah. But from the wrapper, it looks like a piece of candy.
Tootsie Rolls are actually one of my favorite candies, and I grew up on them. I think my mom used to because they used to have
Tootsie Rolls are really good. Yeah,
they're they have the longer ones, like the thin, skinny ones. They're like sticks, and my mom used to buy me like a small handful of those, and those are the ones I always grew up with. Now I buy like the real tiny ones just to get
the midgies ones.
Yeah, to kill the urge to have just a sweet. So I know someone mentioned in the chat here the big king size ones. I was never a big fan of those, but I always like the thin, skinny stick ones, and then the midges, and then they have the Tootsie Roll Pop.
Yeah,
which is
the
basically
chocolate sweet one, the bar one. It kind of reminds me of what Kinder are doing right now. They're making like Kinder chocolate bars.
Okay.
Which honestly, they're very good. Like, I'd say they're on par with Cadbury's of how good they are.
I've never had Kinders.
Yeah, we have Kinder up here, and their chocolate bars are pretty good.
Yeah,
I will say Cadbury literally stomps on Hershey.
Oh, absolutely. Cadbury's you can't get beat at Cadbury's chocolate bar. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
If I'm gonna have Hershey chocolate bar, it'll be like the cookies and cream.
I think I've had a Hershey's cheesecake before.
That's a thing.
A Hershey. Yeah, there's my mum found it. My mum found like a Hershey's cheesecake, chocolate cheesecake, and I was like, quite nice. It was like it tasted like a bit of like an Oreo cheesecake.
Hershey's cheese. Let me see here. Cheesecake. Is it a bar or you just make a? Oh wow, it is a cheesecake bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Flavor of New York cherry cheesecake. Huh.
Oh, I had a chocolate one, but no. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go hunt one now. But yeah, I grew up on Tootsie Rolls, so I still love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cadbury stomps on Hershey.
Absolutely, Cadbury's. You can't beat Cadbury's. I'm sorry.
And then
Kinder comes close, but
is Kinder sweeter than Cadbury or?
I think Cadbury's is sweeter than Kinder, but Kinder has a better taste to me.
That's what I noticed between the two was Cadbury had more of a natural taste to it, where Hershey's tastes kind of plasticky.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the reason why you can't get Kinder though in the US is because it's banned due to Kinder eggs.
Oh, because
we still have the Kinder eggs here.
Because kids in America eat the toy in the middle.
I have no idea.
Because they're idiots.
It's something stupid.
Yeah. Choking hazards.
On a more serious note, Hannah, her baby is on the way. We wish her good luck. I checked in with her husband Dustin today, and they're in good spirits. Everything feels okay, and that they're just playing the waiting game now. So good luck, Hannah. We love you. We can't wait to see your little guy when he enters the world.
Yeah. Get back soon. We need the new podcast host.
Yeah, we need a new host because Dil was apparently late. Now we got to discipline.
You can blame Daylight Savings for that one. You actually can.
We actually thought that you were still at work by the time we were.
Yeah, we thought we were like, oh, if it's an hour ahead, he might still be at work.
Yeah. As I said, me and my coworker have this thing where if she knows that I'm doing the podcast recording, then she takes a turn to stay behind longer, and then I swap the other week basically. So it guarantees me that I'm home at least by about 6 o'clock.
Nice. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, we didn't know how that was going to work out. We're like, don't worry, we'll cut him in. We'll figure out a plan. We got Zenith and I are professionals. We've got a contingency plan in place always.
We would have started without you, and you would have had to wait your fucking turn before we get back on the podcast.
I would have just
That's
ended the stream
professionalism
for you
right
both.
there.
I would have literally just made you both cut off and gone, I'm ending this here.
I
See you next
think
hour.
he technically has the rights to do that. In
Yeah, you
Discord.
just have the rights to just pop in and be like, fuck you all. You started without me, you shitheads.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
If you guys, I don't know, this might be a little way past your time. Maybe for sure, probably Dill. But Zenith, did you ever see a movie called Problem Child?
Yes.
There's this scene where the uncle's running for mayor or something, and the dude just gets pissed off and flips the camera on during like a recording for a campaign commercial or whatever interview. He's all, you know what you guys can do? I'm sick of this town. You guys could just kiss my ass. And then he just like bends over and like moves the camera. No words,
Dill-
no nothing, just moves the camera.
Yeah, Dill, please don't moon anyone on this podcast.
Yeah,
I won't do that, Silver. Don't worry.
Okay, because if that happens, I think I might have to be the one that creates the podcast because this channel will get bad.
Yeah, we'll get bad.
Probably.
Yep.
We have to go to kick.com.
Oh no, they
That's
keep
be
bothering
kicking.
me to like join
Do
their
they?
website.
What?
Yeah, there's like I just get like an email from Kick and there's just like sad emoji,
Sad.
and I'm just like, I'm not fucking joining your thing. Speaking of which,
please, senpai, please join us. Ooh.
Speaking of which, I got another email like just today, and I find it a little bit weird. So apparently, I saw a couple of my friends. They got invited to the EA Creator Program, and that's awesome. So like that's also been going around. Congratulations to everyone that's joining it. But they sent me one as well. It's like I haven't played any EA games in a very long time. Why are you inviting me to this program?
That is
like
weird.
I'm not going to use it. I have no need for it, and I'm not playing their games.
Do they have like a recommendation system? So like the people they do pick up can recommend somebody, or
Oh, I think why I was invited to it is my buddy Helix. He was in touch with guys at EA, and it was regarding the new game. What is it? Wild Hearts.
Wild Hearts, right? I think that's
Yeah.
like their version of Monster Hunter.
The Monster Hunter. Yeah.
Mhm.
So they sent me free code, which is great, but their code is for PS5, so I can't exactly play the game.
Awkward.
But the thing is, though, I think because of that, they probably said, "Hey, let's get this guy on the creative program. Hey, how come you also haven't answered emails? Because I can't play your game. What do you want me to
reach
do?"
out to them and be honest. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Can I get a PlayStation 4 or a PC code? And then I would imagine they'd be kind of hook you up if they want you to play the game.
I think they could. That's
We
very
can use
possible.
2 Dead Space codes too. Just saying.
Ooh.
I mean, if you have a PS5, I think might just like give the code to you.
We'll see what they say. They might revoke the code too.
Fuck.
Yeah, they might revoke it and then just we'll see what they say. I would honestly, which is fine if they revoke it. It's understandable. But if they want, if message them, I would imagine they'd be okay with just giving you a code. Just if you're honest and be like, hey, sorry, I don't own a PS5. You guys are more than welcome to send me a PS5 or a PlayStation 4 or PC.
Send me a PS5, please. I'll take the PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Morgan's getting food and now I'm hungry.
No,
I've already
I was going to share my story because I had a little oopsie yesterday,
Oh no. Oh no.
but I'll have to tell when she gets back.
Okay,
because,
oopsie story is
alright,
holding
fair
off
enough.
until Morgan
Yeah.
gets back.
Yeah, there was like a little detail of something that should know that happened. So
Got you. Okay.
I have a Mother's Day fiasco story for you that happened yesterday.
okay,
Okay.
So I was waiting yesterday to get a Mother's Day gift for my mum because Mother's Day in the UK is tomorrow. And I had it ordered and delivered for yesterday because that's the day that I was in, so I wanted to make sure that I'll get anything like that. Yeah, they delivered it to the wrong address. Like, and I was like, what? Because they posted a photo of the Mother's Day gift on the website so that they know, so that they could confirm it's been delivered and everything like that. And I looked at it and I was like, well, one, where is it? And two, that's not my door. That's not my door at all. You know, luckily it was a neighbor nearby, so I just had to like track down whose door looked like that. Found the door and just knocked on and just like, you know, hey, can I have my Mother's Day gift, you know, and everything like that. And like, yeah, here you go. But it said it had been delivered like in the morning and was delivered to the right address when it clearly hadn't been. And I was just like, who fucked up here?
What did they do? Like, did they just get you another one that day, or?
No, I sent her an email to them, to the website, that complaining about the courier, because it was the courier's fault, I'd say, for delivering to the wrong address.
That
I've yet
sucks.
to really hear back or check my email, but I got the gift in the end. It was just the fact that I spent like 20 minutes like panicking, like, where the fuck is this gift? Like, where is it? And I was like, and then when my mom looked at the door, she realized that's like someone else's door. So I just, you know, had to look around and find it, and eventually I did find it, but it
Then
could
you
have been
stole it off their porch, so they think you're stealing from them now.
Luckily, they took it in their house, and then I just asked for it back, and then that was like, all right. But it was just
wild.
It was wild.
I learned my lesson. Like anything over X amount of dollars, I just send it straight to my office, and then I'll
fair enough
go down there and pick it up, because we have the same FedEx guys like every day.
Yeah. And not to mention, like, if you put like in the delivery notes that if it's a specific building, even if you have like the wrong number, like, oh, it's actually this building, we deliver to this one all the time.
Yeah,
because that's actually what I was doing for some of my packages when I was working my last job.
Yeah. And then they have like I think my building too, the FedEx is literally around the corner. So like if they miss us or they can't deliver for whatever reason to my office, you know, building's locked, whatever, they just go straight to the corner and drop it off there. So like worst case scenario, I have to walk to the corner and pick it up. So anything over a certain amount, I just learned to ship it to my office. There's always somebody there. There's always someone to sign for something. So yeah, learned my lesson on that one.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, that's your Mother's Day gift. That's cold-blooded, man.
It was, because I spent like £50 on that as well. So I was just like, oh shit. Like,
was it an edible arrangement?
No, it was just like a bouquet of flowers and like a biscuit that's like a cookie, as as Americans would call it. That's like in the shape of a bouquet.
Wait,
card.
Is the British Mother's Day a different day? Because ours is in May.
Yeah, ours is tomorrow. In
March. Father's Day is actually in the same month, though.
Okay.
Yeah, because like it's June, right?
Yeah, Father's Day is in June, and that's the same day, as in there's the US. But for some reason, Mother's Day we like to do it 2 months before America. I don't know why.
It's okay. Canadians like to have their own Thanksgiving too.
That's true.
You know,
they like to be involved.
We just like being different.
And then to sound less consumer, they don't call it Black Friday, they call it Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
No. Boxing Day is the day after Christmas.
Oh, okay.
But Boxing Day is like usually chill, because like I have done shopping on Boxing Day and people aren't trampling each other.
Gotcha.
No, in the UK the same. Like it's just like, I guess in the US.
Yeah.
Wait, so does Boxing Day like have the same impact that it did, 5-10 years ago, like Black Friday did, or is Boxing Day like?
Boxing Day is where all the sales do go live for like a lot of stores, but a lot of them's more virtual these days, so a lot of people just get it delivered.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, Boxing Day is just usually like it's Boxing Week. Like like we get the day off after Christmas, but then we get Boxing Week. So like a lot of places they'll have stuff on sale for like the entire week.
Interesting.
And now people aren't being trampled.
We just do Black Friday, but then again, Black Friday hasn't been what it's been in 10 years.
Yeah, It was only really 2 years, I think, of Black Friday where it was chaotic in the UK, and after that, everyone just kind of got bored of it, so we just went back to like doing our usual things.
People that I know that participate in Black Friday usually do it digital, so you never see stores being picked clean, and you don't hear anything about
I worked
fights.
I worked 3 Black Fridays pre-internet when I worked retail. Some wild stuff happened on Black Friday, but the one that I will never forget, this guy, Christmas Eve, I was working at
that guy.
I was working at the Bullseye.
Ooh.
And I was covering the electronics section for their lunch, and this guy comes in Christmas Eve, like 2 hours, 3 hours before we close, right? And this was the PS2 era. He was like, "Hey, I need a PlayStation 2, the slim one, and I need like one of those like now." I just looked at the guy and started laughing.
Like, I'm sorry, mate, they're all gone.
He's like, what's so funny? And I'm like, sir, you were coming to me 3 hours before closing on Christmas Eve expecting to get a PlayStation 2, which is one of the hottest items of the season.
So this is like early 2000 then.
Early 2000s, yeah. And I was like, maybe mid, because it was the slim, right? And he just like, well, I don't understand why you guys wouldn't have it in stock. This is a huge store. Da, da, da. I was like, I don't understand why you would wait till the last minute to come grab this thing.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't get it. My kid wanted it. Da, da, da. Like, this is the only thing my kid wanted. Now, to be fair, financials aside, I understand, parents don't necessarily have the means to get stuff early. They have the means when they have the means to go get it, right? But if you are financially capable of purchasing a product like this at a given time, you prepare in advance and think, oh, maybe this thing's going to be a big deal, and I should probably go buy this a month or 2, maybe 3 months in advance, But this guy was clearly just like not having it. I also had another one 2 days before Christmas. You remember the Power Wheel, like Barbie Jeeps?
Oh God, yeah, that's a throwback.
Yeah, your kid sits in it and drives around in the garage or the driveway or whatever in it, right? The lawn, right? I had a guy two days before Christmas try to get one of those. And if you didn't know, like retail wise, they're only stocking maybe 1 or 2 of those things at a time because they take up so much space in the back room. So like they're only going to stock 1 or 2 of those at a time. So the odds, the guy was like, we didn't have it, obviously. We sold the last one. And the guy's like, well, just give me the one on display. Da, 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 da. I was like, I could give you that, but she's not going to get very far. There's no motor in it. It's just like a plastic shell on a wire rack. And then the guy like stormed off and left.
Oh,
but like, it's like, come on, people.
Oh my God.
Come on, people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no, I never bothered with those. With taking advantage of a Boxing Day or anything like that. I mean, maybe I got like one thing for my computer like 3-4 years ago. That's about it.
I used to get it for like stuff that I would like wait to get. One thing it really works well for is things like clothes. So like if you need like clothes for, work or whatever, like it pays to just wait till like, Black Friday or in their case, Boxing Day or whatever, and then just stock up for the year. And then go in because you can get stuff dirt cheap. But enough about consumerism and spending money.
Yeah, money.
Yeah, we all got enough of that. But also on top of that, not to mention Hannah, but of course Leshki is a couple days due. So she's due within the week here too. So we probably should hopefully have delivered by the next pod. So Leshki, we wish you luck.
Wouldn't it be great if Hannah and Leshki gave birth on the exact same day?
Oh my God.
I have a feeling, I was telling Hannah about this. I have a feeling that their kids are going to become like best friends.
Oh my God, imagine.
But I want it to be in like one of those weird movie type of ways where like these 2 kids just randomly meet each other like in a Discord chat or on a game of Destiny or in their case like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or something like that. And then they find out who their parents are.
Yeah.
And they're just like some weird movie moment. But so of course, Leshki, Good luck to you too. And her hubby, I always forget which game doc she married. It's Tom, right?
Yeah, Tom.
She married Tom. It's like I forget which one she marries. I feel so bad. I
Don't mention that to her, please.
I forget which one she marries.
Yeah, you're cut from the podcast.
Well, damn. But I always forget. I'm like, I'm just bad, dude. I'm bad with with details. Like,
Yeah, that's all good.
I'll be like, wait, what? My anniversary to my girlfriend is literally an entry in my calendar.
Oh my god!
So I do not forget.
I have you forgotten though one time, and then she's reminded you.
I have forgotten.
Yeah.
No, I did not forget the anniversary.
Okay.
I forgot.
Birthday?
I might have forgotten a birthday.
I
might have forgotten a birthday.
Yeah.
But for once, Pal was actually a day late.
Oh.
And she was like, oh crap, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, don't worry about it, dude. It's okay. It's not like I'm going to dump you because of this.
Well, it's true what they say. Like, partners start to like inherit personalities from each other. The more they like hang out, the more they like are together.
That is so true. I'm not going to lie. That is really damn true.
Yeah.
I'm never going to forget another birthday ever again.
Oh, okay.
How's this?
Because Morgan is my secretary.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
She writes down all of my reminders. She's got like a Google Doc of it all.
She's basically a manager.
You give her the credit card numbers and everything yet, too?
No, she's not. She's not getting that.
She's not got there yet.
No, never.
But yeah, Dil is totally right. Because like now, Pal is like, I kind of want to go buy a guitar.
Oh.
And I'm like, why? And she's just like, oh, well, because I watch you play and it's like interesting to me now. And now I kind of want to go like try and learn. And I'm like, well, we can talk about it. You know, we can go get you like she's like, I don't want to spend a bunch of money. And then I was like, well, just get you
It's a lot. Not much money on a guitar.
To be real, you could get a decent one for $100.
Okay.
You know, and that's not going to like $100, you know, for most isn't going to like break you or kill you, you know, put you on the street, you know. But yeah, I was like, but you're totally right. They start taking on your personality.
Yep.
Yeah. That's how you know you've been together a long time. They start putting on your personality.
Yep. I kind of wish I had that regard a little bit in my relationships because if anything, well, my last girlfriend, like she like changed a little bit. Like she became more of a gamer because of me. But the one before that, there's no rubbing off on her at all.
Yeah, she was just in her ways, huh?
She was set. She was stubborn, and she was pretty much my exact opposite.
It's interesting too. Is like I think when you're with somebody long enough, something they never thought they would ever take interest in. And then they'll send them, like, for example, like comic books, you know, like you find you're big on comic books or whatever. And then you find out your partner was like, those are stupid. I wouldn't waste my time with those. But I don't know where they pick one up when they're like cleaning up your table in your room or whatever. And they start reading and they're like, huh, this doesn't seem so bad. And then they start kind of like taking on their own, you know, approach to things. I think the one thing I learned, especially with Pal, is like try to find the stuff that they would like game wise. Like Pal's trying to get into games and stuff, so I was like, what do you like to play? Like, what are you interested in, you know?
Yeah. And
then they kind of find their own way with it. Pal likes a lot of the cutesy like adventure, like puzzly adventure stuff. Like she's been playing this one guess we're going into video games. Pal's been playing this one called Blanc, and it's basically like black and white snowfield looking scenery, and you basically play as like a deer and a fox or something along those lines, and you have to like help each other find your families or something like that. It's like real touching story type of stuff. I think it's BLANC if you were looking it up.
Oh, yeah.
Blanc. Yeah, she was. She's been kind of playing that and diving into that one.
It's only been out for about a month as well.
Yeah, it just came out. It's $15, I think, on Steam and the
Yep.
Nintendo Store.
Yep.
So yeah, go check out Blanc. All right. So yeah, good luck to the ladies on the pod here. We wish you good luck. We can't wait to see your kids. We're excited to have 2 new podcast hosts here and baby Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Zenith is still doing some Fire Emblem Engage.
Ooh,
Oh, wait. Before you start, Morgan is back. We had a story from you.
Morgan. Yes.
right.
Yes.
So,
Here we go.
yesterday, so I've been kind of like, I'm trying to get over this, like a bit of a stress cold, but I've been a lot more relaxed than like the last little while. But yesterday, I pulled out my foot spa, and I got that all set up. It was had a really nice, comfortable temperature. I had a bottle of Chardonnay from California.
Ooh.
That my friend was it's a friend of my brother's, but like they were nice enough to give me this bottle of wine. I had that. I had chips and dip. I put on I was watching sports, and I also put in some bath salts right in the foot spa, and it was so nice. It was really, really nice. I was so relaxed. I was having a great time until I realized that I put in way too many bath salts.
Uh-oh.
And I was also having alcohol. So I passed out on Discord call. And I don't recall what happened, but just being overwhelmingly tired where I had to like pass the fuck out.
So you basically dehydrated yourself.
And then after that, I finally had enough in me where it's like, okay, I gotta go. I don't recall saying goodbye or anything like that. So I hang up on call, and I go to lay on my bed, but like I was just doing laundry yesterday, so I forgot to put the clean sheets on. So I just passed out on my pillows, and I used like a blanket as a pillow. And I was out for about 4.5 hours.
Oof.
And I had like vivid dreams.
Did you wake? Is that why you were up in like the middle of the night?
I couldn't go back to sleep because also I was playing Fire Emblem Engage, and the story wouldn't let me go to bed until about 7:30 in the morning.
Jesus.
Sheesh. How are you even up right now?
So if you take the 4.5 hours sleep that I got unaccidentally, and then you add the 5 hour sleep that I got afterwards, that's roughly about like a 9
you're doing okay.
hours, so
7 hours.
yeah, I'm doing just fine.
Okay, so aside from dehydration and passing out, how was the foot spa?
It was amazing. So
have you ever done one of these things before?
Yeah, but I decided to use. I've actually never used bath salts, so I decided to borrow my brother's bath salts that he has. Like, yeah, go for it. It's all yours. But the thing is, though, he put just a little bit. I was like,
just dunk it
whole
in.
fucking thing in there, because apparently, bath salts make you very tired, especially when alcohol is involved.
Right.
And oops, I made that mistake. I thought I had too much to drink because it was just a small bottle of wine. Like I can handle a bottle of Chardonnay, no problem.
It's like aromatherapy too, right? Like aromatic or something, right? And that's what calms your nerves, and you like like melatonin in it or something.
Yes, it was like someone took a bottle of chloroform and.
Yep.
That's how bad I got knocked out. Because one moment I was like, I was completely coherent. Then all of a sudden, everything is fading super fine because I was watching a video because like the sports game just ended. I remember like the first 30 seconds, and then nothing else happened, and I just wasn't reacting.
I don't know if these were bath salts or something, but Pal gave me a pouch of what looked like bath salts, and she's like, oh yeah, you just pour them on the floor of the shower, and then when the water hits the floor, of the tub, it'll, you know, raise the steam up and stuff, and it like clear, because I have like really really bad allergies sometimes, to the point where it's like almost like a cold and I can't even work. So she like gave me the stuff, and like that shit just goes in and just clears up my chest. It was like literally like, god damn. So I don't know, they're not that bad. I'm all for it. They're quite nice. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the foot bath enough to fall asleep. What is going on in the chat right now?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Let's see. No, I'm gonna go examine this and then see if I have to get HR involved. Zenith has this like squinch look on his face, like, oh shit, and he's scrolling back.
No, Chibi just mentioned eating someone's face after using bath salts. So I'm just like, face.
Zombie at the end of our Last of Us wake here. Zombie.
Yeah, face.
Yeah.
Actually, we're gonna get into zombies in a minute here.
Right. So,
Fire Emblem Engage.
Yes, I played some Fire Emblem Engage. I'm getting pretty far in it, and I believe I should be. I think I got like 5 more chapters remaining, something like that. So, pretty good. Still, I'm about like 79 hours into it. So, but
Oh my
That's a lot of hours.
Damn.
Holy shit.
But then again, I spend a lot of time like hanging out in like the whole hub, you know, trying to give gifts, trying to give horse manure to children, and you know.
Here's some horse shit, kid. Don't spend it all in one place.
The game gives me horse manure. I beeline to where those fucking delinquents are, and they will handle my feces.
Oh yeah, you talked about this in the podcast episode that I missed. I remember
Nothing's
that.
changed. I still give them feces.
Wow.
Not to mention someone burnt my food.
Nothing has changed. This is 80 hours. I'm 80 hours in. I can't stop now.
Yeah, the only thing that time I haven't given horse feces to kids is someone ended up burning my food in the game. What? So I decided to, while they were in the kitchen, hand them horse feces right there.
Wow.
Oh,
you're basically the dung eater from Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. Okay, so in your experience of Fire Emblem, what's the consensus on Engage? Where does it sit in the? Is it in the top 5? Is it in the top tier?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say, I think it's about like number 2 on my list of Fire Emblem games.
Okay, there's quite a bit of those games too. I didn't realize how many of those there were.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot of them. And then the Game Boy Advance is the first one, right? And I think that's coming
that's on the online, I think, right now,
American
in
one.
fact.
Because they actually had a game for I think the NES.
Oh, wow, really?
It was only in Japan, though.
Okay.
I think the first 3 games were Japan only, but apparently like they were super popular in Japan. They decided to start like localizing them because if you think about it.
Oh, Jesus.
For Smash Brothers Melee, the characters they brought over, so in Melee they had Marth and Roy, who were bonus characters, and but at that point there were still no official localized Fire Emblem games in North America.
Wow.
Okay. Jeez, the artwork for the game looks pretty freaking cool as well.
Are you talking about Engage or the NES one?
The NES one, like the cover for it.
Yeah, I'm looking at. Is it we're looking at it here. The Fire Emblem Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light.
Yeah, Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. Interesting. For those that are interested and did not know, because I sure as hell didn't know, I'll put that in the chat for you right there. Wikipedia: Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. Interesting.
Yep. Came out a very long time ago.
It looks so like Final Fantasy 1 on the NES. Like it's just that pixelated map.
Yeah, I mean it still like has like the same a lot of the same things where you go and you fight enemy, you attack first, and then you move all your units, and then afterwards the enemy's units move. So a lot of like the similar settings are like still intact, which is great.
Interesting. It says Nintendo Switch December 4th, 2020.
Yeah, they did add it as like an English
online
import
game.
of it.
Oh, really?
To the Nintendo Switch Online. Yep.
I did not know that. Huh. I wish I could get into Fire Emblem, but I just can't. That's from the chat there. It's on my list of things to try too. I just don't know how I feel about it either.
I think my list has 3 houses on because I think, is that the easiest one to get into, Zen?
Yeah, it's an easy one to pick up because it's but that also kind of depends because I mean, yeah, it's easier to learn. You don't have to worry about too many complicated systems. It's not a very difficult Fire Emblem, I think, especially with the sense of because Fire Emblem originally they had permadeath where you lose a character, that's it,
yes,
they're gone.
you talked about this. Yeah, you lose it, you're done.
Well, in recent Fire Emblem games, like you have the ability to have a difficulty setting where you lose them for the rest of the map, but then after the next map, they're back as if like nothing happened.
Like a clone.
But also, you know, that stuff is optional. But you also have the ability to rewind time. So say like even I use this function all the time because like I think like I was playing on a map yesterday. The reason why I was up at 7:30 in the morning because I was just like surrounded by like 50 different units. So I got like only like 8 or 7. So I'm like, I'm in trouble. So yeah. But so if like one wrong move, like it's like, all right, you just lost 2 units, rewind time, go back and see if you can make a different move so that way you can prevent them from being killed.
Okay. Question. Yeah. Is playing Fire Emblem like playing chess, as someone described to me?
It's somewhat similar, yes, because like it has like a rock, paper, scissors kind of style where swords are good against axes are good against spears are good against swords, and vice versa.
Okay.
And you do have to like kind of like move your units. You want to protect your squishy ones and put them in a location where they can attack from afar in a risky situation.
Okay.
I think the biggest problem I have with like these games, like nothing against these games, but I tend to find myself one of those people where I'm like, if the system is really, really involved and it's going to take me hours and hours of gameplay to figure out the system, I'm almost kind of checked out already.
Yeah, doesn't take long.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of why I actually recommend Engage over 3 Houses, because the thing with 3 Houses is that it isn't so much about you learning the systems, it's the fact that in between each main mission, you have like the game puts you in a situation where you have to just run around the whole hub school area to try and like interact with all your units, talk to them, and then like say after like an hour you get to play like the next mission again. With Engage, it's like, all right, done this map, okay, we're gonna go right to the other one, just gonna make sure everyone's got the right equipment. And I mean, there's like a bunch of systems, but they're relatively easy to learn as long as you're not like Morgan that just completely forgets that they're there.
Okay.
I feel like
then again, like Morgan wasn't really struggling. It's just like some of her units were squishy because she wasn't really
like they weren't buffed enough.
Okay.
Yeah, because like she had like a whole bunch of consumable items that can make your units stronger, and they just sat in her inventory for like half the game. I'm like, what are you doing?
Okay.
I feel like sometimes I think about stuff like this. It's like I feel like I need to go get one of those like GameFly accounts. If you don't know what like GameFly is, basically like the Netflix for video games, where like you pay a monthly fee or whatever, and then you can rent them.
No.
I'm tempted to like be like getting a GameFly account for a couple months and try like, for example, stuff like Fire Emblem and be like, do I like this? That way I'm not paying, $50-$60 and then I realize it's not for me and then I gotta like eat it.
Yeah.
Or trade it in or whatever. But I was like, I'm intrigued. It's just a matter of like the time investment that I would need to put into it to like really, really get into it. I'm gonna add it to the list. Let's add it to the list here. Let's see what happens. So you're saying, okay, so Morgan says Engage instead of 3 Houses.
Yeah, because like you get to go faster, and if you're someone that doesn't really care about having like supports and like they are beneficial because like you have like the system where you go around, you talk to your like all your allies, you can get them to have your allies to like have conversations with each other. Some of them are interesting, some of them aren't so much. Like that stuff is optional, but it does kind of like make them fight better next to each other. Like for example, you play someone that has like a really good support system right next to each other, and they have a better chance of hitting the opponents or avoiding getting hit. So like it is beneficial, but like that stuff is kind of like just optional. You can go straight through this main story if you want, and as long as you're playing like an easier difficulty, like you should be fine. Like it is forgiving in the sense of where if you're someone that's new to the game, and if you're just trying to learn it, but also just trying to just experience the story and experience the gameplay, you don't have to be like you're not going to get bogged down by all these hours you're going to spend running around to school. Like, that stuff you don't have to do.
Gotcha.
Stuff.
Because I think if I didn't bother with the main hub area, I probably would have been done several weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's just you're never going to find horse poop. That's the only thing.
Yeah, see, the main story is about 40 hours, which is a hefty game, but still 40 hours compared to what the 80 you've put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80 and a half hours is what's clocking in here for completionist.
Yeah, well, there is still like a bunch of optional stuff you can do. Like you can go back to like previous maps and fight monsters if you're trying to like farm gold, if you're trying to farm materials to upgrade your equipment with. So that stuff you can do. There's also online things because there's a thing, it's called like a relay. So what it does is you start a map, you pick your only 8 characters, or I think it's 6 actually. You start there, and the thing is you only have 2 turns. You only have 2 turns, so you have to try and make do with your 2 turns. But then afterwards, after this, anyone else that you know on your friend list or anyone on the internet, as long as depending on what settings, you can either play privately or publicly, and then somebody else can add 2 of their units and take over for 2 turns, and you just hope that like enough people play it that you end up beating like if someone ends up beating it, then everyone that played it and participated gets rewards.
Nice. Okay.
So
I think I'm sold. I'm sold.
I'm not quite there yet. I'm just trying to decide.
I feel like you've already pre-ordered this or something, Dylan. It's in your stockpile of stuff to play.
No, I'm not adding more to the gigantic list I already have and already collecting about.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Even if you're not the biggest fan of like some of the characters or the story, at least the soundtrack is fucking phenomenal.
They really, really shove these guys down your throat in Smash Brothers. I was like, okay.
Yeah, Smash Bros. Was very horny for Fire Emblem, our characters.
Yeah. Super Smash Emblem. Go for it. Let's go.
Yeah.
That was so funny though. Like people wanted, what was Sora. Sora was the one everyone wanted.
Sora was the biggest request, and they made it the last one they added because
we had 5 Fire Emblem ads before we got into that.
They are just like Nintendo. I feel like they knew what they were doing there. I think they wanted to save the best for last and the most requested for last. There,
I'll be honest
holy
with you.
Crap!
It was probably licensing. They were probably going back and forth.
So they had to get through Square Enix and everything.
Well, Disney on top of it. They had to get Disney involved.
Square Enix, the whole lot.
And you know how Disney be.
Yeah, not to mention, I think if they were going to go for like one last DLC character, they wanted to make one that'll be like as socially, like culturally impactful as Sora.
Yeah. Super Smash Brothers Melee was the first game in the series I played, and the characters I played as the most was Adult Link and Marth. So
My
Morgan
first was
really does have a
Brawl.
relationship with this series. I would have never
Yeah.
guessed Morgan would play these.
I'm always more so unlike the people.
Is that your influence, Zenith?
Nope.
No. I would have never guessed.
Like, I was done playing Smash Brothers by the time I met Morgan.
Okay. I have my Super Smash Brothers 64 cartridge.
Ooh. Brawl was my first one on the Wii.
Which one was?
Brawl.
Oh, Brawl? Okay. I'm trying to remember. I think I played the N64 one a bit. But I remember the GameCube one a lot. Melee's the GameCube one. Yeah, I remember that one a lot. But yeah, man, they really shove them characters down your... They really shove them characters down your throat, the Fire Emblem characters in Smash Brothers. 7 DLCs, 6 of them are Fire Emblem characters. You know, but I think you might have sold me. You might have sold me.
Awesome.
I might see how I can gather this.
Well, if you have any questions,
This
let
this
me
is a
know.
full this is a $60 bill, right? This is a full price
Probably.
game.
Yeah, it's a full price game because it's still pretty new.
I wonder if Free House is on sale.
Could be.
It was been out
Likely.
for a while, that one.
I'm looking at Dil's cat emote in the chat. Just like, why am I looking at a cat gasm?
That's not a cat, a fox.
Is it a fox? Oh, okay, it's a fox gasming.
Get it right, man. Get it right.
Okay. Houses. But 3 houses, I imagine, is one of those ones you could find used by this point.
Yeah, like
For some reason, it's pointed me to the Fire Emblem Warriors Free Hopes game.
That's the one they want you to buy, because that one's probably still fairly new too.
Oh no, like Free Houses is like 55 quid for me.
Okay.
Engage is actually cheaper. Engage like £40 for me.
Wow. Huh.
Then maybe try Engage.
And then which one was Awakening?
You need to play
3DS.
Pepsi Man.
Hmm?
You need to you got to get on that Pepsi Man bandwagon.
Pepsi Man. Yeah, that's what I was calling this game for a while. Fire Emblem Pepsi.
Nice.
To be fair, look at the characters. Like they're definitely like Pepsi Man personified into like anime characters.
On that note, are you guys Pepsi or Coke people?
Pepsi.
Pepsi, but I did work for Coca-Cola head office before.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. Is that one of the reasons you're a Pepsi person?
No. It's just
Okay.
Pepsi just tastes better for me.
Yeah, see, I'm
Pepsi
old school. I like
all the way.
Oh, look at that.
Pepsi Max Cherry right there for you.
Is that a liter bottle?
That's a 2-liter bottle.
Why it's skinny? That's interesting. Ours are fatter.
So you probably had the 3-liter bottle. The 3-liter bottle is the fatter one.
Oh, okay.
This is the 2-liter bottle.
Interesting. Huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I saw those in the UK.
Yeah, I was like, that's a skinny bottle. No,
I have had
I've
the
always been
3-liter
a
ones
Coke
before,
person.
but like can't get them recently.
I don't know what it is. I haven't had one in a while just because I don't drink much sugar anymore, like sugary drinks anymore. But
Honestly, that's better for you.
the original like cherry Coke.
Ooh, I think no. Diet Coke lime. Diet Coke lime slaps.
I never had that one. Zenith's got a look of disgust on his face.
I was thinking in my head, as like Eric's all about that thick cock Coke bottle.
What the hell?
What the fuck, Zen?
You guys need Jesus.
Oh,
I need a lot of things. Let's be
there's
fair.
nothing wrong with thick cock.
I'm gonna literally get Hannah off of like maternity leave or whatever and have her just sit and read the Bible to you two because you guys need it.
Hannah will just spray us with holy water and say we need Jesus.
Yeah. No, Hannah would just leave. She's like, nope. Not doing this. Now someone in the chat said a penis pump.
Ah, yeah, it's a penis pump.
All I think about is like Austin Powers. They ran that gag for way too long in that movie, but it was still genius.
I feel like they did that for multiple movies, didn't they?
Yeah,
Or am I wrong?
that was one of the running gags.
Yeah.
Morgan said, I hear penis pump and think of breast pump. Why? I don't know.
Are you using that wrong, Morgan?
What? You can't grow something that's not there.
What the fuck?
I have so many questions about that.
Zen,
one.
you have to have a word with your manager here.
Nope.
Boobs
Just
are
do
not
your
penises,
job,
true.
otherwise you're fired.
I would go check your receipts.
Might have bought something in your cards and you don't know.
Yeah. Check your receipts.
But yeah, other than Fire Emblem Engage, been playing some Elden Ring.
Ah, yes, Elden Ring.
Guys, look at the chat. Morgan's still going. She's not stopping.
Morgan, just get more sleep.
Like literally read what she said.
I have a. I'm not even gonna respond to that. Honestly, there's too many jokes I could think of.
I'm gonna get my foot spa. Gonna put so many bath salts in it, and if I pass out during
Pal
this
just arrived as
podcast,
well.
I'm just doing myself. Hi, hi, pal.
Pal, will you please have a girl-to-girl conversation with Morgan? You guys, she's out of control.
Tell Morgan she needs to put her toys away.
Please have a woman-to-woman conversation with Morgan. Some weird shit's going down in her head.
That woman needs Jesus and probably something else.
Yeah.
That woman needs
Just get
Jesus
it
and
over
Jesus.
with already, all right?
Get it over with.
That woman needs Arceus.
So Fire Emblem Engaged. Zenith approved.
Yep.
Go play. Throw shit at little kids.
Go for him.
For 80 hours. Completionist.
Yeah.
That's basically a Skyrim.
But aside from that, I mean, I'm not doing it in my off time, but I'm playing my second playthrough of Elden Ring.
Okay, what are we doing different in this playthrough?
I tried doing so I started off with Bandit because I was gonna go bleed build, but
not the best.
then people told me that when you start off with pure bleed build, you're going to struggle at the very beginning. And struggle I did. I actually could not beat Margit. I mean, mind you though,
I can relate.
I was that one person that was like, hey, I played through this game. I did well. I was fine. You know, why the fuck not? I can do this. And I'm just like, oh, I definitely don't got this. Yeah. And I was having a bad time.
Yeah.
So
it's rough to do it at the start. As you get further along, you access to more weapons. It's easier. But at the start, it's not great.
So what I ended up doing is I re-rolled my character. So I made, what was it? Who's that one class that starts off with the light healing spell?
Oh, mage? No, it's not called mage.
No. It's a warrior character. It's just you get 100% physical block shield. But you also get like a light healing spell.
I wonder if there's like a cheat guide here that I can look up real quick.
No. Confessor?
Yes, a confessor.
There you go.
So I started off with them, and things were a lot better. And first I was like, well, maybe I'll play around a little bit with holy spells. I'm like, but then after a while, I was like, you know what? Let's just go bleed build. So I'm finally starting to get it together. I defeated Margit, but now I set up a sub goal on my stream where it's like, you know what? I will continue playing this game because, like, first of all, this game was redeemed because I have a wheel where if we hit like a certain amount of support within a month, then I'll spin a wheel and whatever it lands on, I'll play. So like one of the options is play a Souls game for a couple of streams.
Okay.
But for this one, I said, hey, I have an idea. If we hit a sub goal by the end of the month, I will do a full playthrough of this, but via co-op.
Ooh.
So we hit the sub goal in a single day. So now, next week, I have to do a full playthrough of Elden Ring, but with co-op. So if you guys have for PS4 or PS5, I am available.
I don't think PC is cross-compatible, is it?
No.
Ah, man.
That's a shame, because I would have loved to have joined you with my like Black Flame bleed build, and we could have been like both bleed builds.
And don't worry, if you hook me up with a better computer, we can definitely do some co-op.
True.
Somebody ship this man a Steam Deck.
Yeah. One thing I will say though about bleed builds, the best build ones I think to start with is Samurai, because you get a katana immediately, which is an immediate bleed weapon.
Yeah, I should have gone that route, but whatever. I have my 100% shield and I'm happy.
Fair enough. I think for my next build for Elden Ring, I want to go full magic. I want to throw rocks at people.
But
throw rocks at people, huh?
I love but my last build that I had, like it was pure melee, and then I swapped to nothing but like, well, I had like the fire ability with my sword. Oh. Then there was the other ability where because I had like a whole bunch of like lightning dragon moves where I just shower lightning everywhere, and it was so satisfying.
I feel like I need to just start this game over.
Oh, here we go.
Because I'm not getting anywhere. maybe I picked the wrong character.
I mean,
don't...
if you
What character did you
want
pick?
an easier playthrough, magic builds are like, if you get the right, the spells are just like insta win, honestly.
Because I'm using like the soldier or whatever, I guess.
The hero.
The hero,
guess.
yeah.
Mm.
And I'm like trying to go in there and swing it out.
You're
That's
gonna
what I
struggle a
did.
little bit because if I may recommend, start with a character that has like a good shield.
Okay.
That way, like you can just cower behind the shield. Like that's kind of like how like get to like learn the game until better available stuff. Because the frustrating thing is if you're someone that doesn't parry, if you're someone that that doesn't quite, because like when you start off in the game, you don't have very decent spells.
Right.
So even then, that's going to be a struggle. Because magic is the end game, whereas like a decent physical character that has like 100% block shield is something that I recommend going early games. So if you want to start off with either the Confessor, because you get like you have decent armor, you have a decent sword, you have 100% block shield, where all you do is just cower behind that shield and you receive no damage, which is great. And then, or he can start off with, I think it's Vagabond or something like that.
Yeah, it is.
So
Where it's
here's
basically
what's
like
interesting. So if I'm gathering this correctly, there's no like easy, medium, or hard mode to this game. There's only one mode, right? But the easy, medium, hard is determined by the character you actually picked. So if me picking hero might have actually made it hard on myself.
Yes and no with that. Yes, it is like one mode. Yes, the character you pick can be important, but it also depends on what you decide to use with that character. What you pick up in the game itself. For the weapons, the spells, the attributes, everything. What you choose to do.
So what was the one you said? Confessor? Should I try a Confessor?
Yeah, you can try that one.
You can try that one.
You know what?
If you have a decent shield, like a heater shield, something that has like 100% physical block, like you can be able to get away with it if you're still using like the hero. It's just you're gonna need better armor. You're gonna need a better weapon because, to be entirely honest, like the axe that you start off with is not a very good one, and you're gonna have a trouble like, especially when you're trying to like learn and adjust to the gameplay. If you don't have a shield, you're going to struggle.
I had a hero with my first class, and it was difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Screw it. I think we might just wipe the character and go fresh.
Can't do.
Why not?
Yeah, because I'm about 40 hours into this thing and I ain't gotten anywhere. And I'm like, I don't know if it's just a skill set thing or what, but I'm just like, I'm not getting anywhere with this.
It's all about just, finding the right character in the end for your playthrough.
But yeah, if to get yourself started, start off with that character, and then after that, like I would say about roughly like the 60-70 hour mark, when you're like in like the second or third main area, start thinking about like what you want to do, because you will come across the ability to like change your character build.
Oh, okay.
So, because like I was a pure melee character where I had strength up the wazoo.
Yeah.
But I had no magic whatsoever, and then I hit a point where I was just struggling. I was struggling. I couldn't get past these fucking gargoyles. No matter how hard I tried, no matter how good I was at trying to dodge, I just stood no chance. And then eventually, I went back, I changed, I made myself strength, faith. Yes, I lost like a bunch of HP, and I lost a bunch of strength, but then I just became so much more capable of different things, and the game became a lot easier.
Okay.
So I mean, what I had got me up to that point, but you will hit a point where it's like, you know what, I need to go with something that's a bit more optimal.
Yeah. I don't get me wrong, I've thoroughly enjoyed whatever I've tried to do so far. It's just like I feel like I'm getting nowhere. I'm like, God, I can't pass any of these bosses. And maybe it is the build. Like, maybe I'm just picking a character that I'm not suited to use. Like, so I was like, okay, we'll try a different one. I'm not opposed to like restarting the whole thing and trying again.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I feel like too that Elden Ring obviously is one of those games where it feels like you pick, like you have to almost see it through. Like you can't stop playing and then put it on ice for a while and then come back. It's one of those things where it's like you have to kind of go and see it through and finish it out.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's been for like a lot of the Souls games that I play. Because like if I put them down for like a great amount of time, I have no idea what my character build is. I have no idea what I've explored, what I haven't done, and I just think, fuck it, start over fresh.
No, I'll do it. Yeah. That's on my list of things to do today. We're gonna start it fresh.
Yeah.
All right. Second Elden Ring. We got Fire Emblem Engage in the second playthrough of Elden Ring. Okay, Dil. I wanted, because you were very deep about sharing this. You are super proud of yourself. You are hyped. You have finished the Emerald Kaizo build for Pokemon.
God, yes.
3-year journey.
2 to 3 year journey on that one after all that time. And I was like, holy shit, I actually beat this. Oh my God. I beat it on Thursday. Thursday was when I got to the league and was on the final like stretch, the Elite Four and the champion. It took me when I got to it took me about about half an hour to an hour to get through the Elite Four, at least, because like the first Elite Four member took me 2 attempts. Surprisingly, the second one and the last one I beat on my first try. I don't know how I did. The third one, which is Glacier, she was the most difficult one out of all the Elite Four members. There be like 6 attempts on her because she had basically 3 bombs on her team, which they used like self-destruct or explosion.
So it's just slamming you with crap and you're not getting anywhere.
Literally, like my goal for Glacier was defusing the bomb. Like, diffusing the 3 bombs and then go from there. And luckily, I got 1 attempt where I was able to do that with minimal damage. It was when I got to the final boss, Steven. The Emerald was changed. Emerald Kaiser was changed so that Steven was the final champion rather than it being Wallace in the original game. And he took me about 2 to 3 hours of attempts. I don't know how many exactly.
You're lucky, Dil. I usually give people 4 hours.
Yeah. It literally, I'm not kidding you, Zen. It was luck that I won. I got a lucky crit on his last Pokemon.
I saw your TikTok.
When my Pokemon was at red HP, I can't believe that a priority attack at 40 base power did so much damage to a legendary. I don't know how I was able to do it, but I did it. And it was like... Yeah.
That was level insane. 100 Deoxys, right?
Level 100 Deoxys, which outsped all my Pokemon on my team. Like, so it would always attack first unless I had a priority attacking move. Which, luckily I kept one on my Sceptile just in case. I noticed that it was doing quite a lot of damage to Deoxys in some of my attempts on Steven. So, went for broke, just said, fuck it, I'll try a priority attack and see if I can get a crit and see if that kills it. And I got the crit and killed it, and I got the victory after, I think it was like 50 hours of total in-game time for the in-game time hours. It was definitely longer due to all the resets. But yeah, Steven had a Metagross that could use Meteor Mash to increase attack and explode when necessary. He had a Starmie, which I could insta-kill, because it was like 1 Leaf Blade would kill it immediately. So that was like easy to take that down. He had an Aerodactyl, which outsped my entire team. So I had to, luckily I had a water type that could take it out in 1 surf, but it had to take an attack first. Then he had 3 legendary Pokemon on his team: Jirachi, Deoxys, and Mewtwo. And out of the 3, both Mewtwo and Deoxys outsped my entire team, basically.
How long did this fight take you?
As I said, about 2 to 3 hours of total.
Oh, right, sorry.
two
Jesus.
to 3 hours of like total attempts, and it was most likely like 20 plus attempts in total.
What was your
So where I
game
got-
time on this? Like, what was your total game time on this?
50 plus hours. I want to say I can if I can.
It's okay. Like,
I
so
think
you're saying
it-
about 50. You're saying over 50 hours.
Over 50 hours, and that was because of like how the way that Emerald Kaiser is structured is that there's always going to be trainers in your way to slow you down, basically. So like that's why it took me so long, because they not only did they like move trainers around to be more like on the land rather than the sea to like be in your way, but they also added more trainers and added more Pokemon on their teams. Each of the gym leaders had 6 Pokemon each, which made it harder to take out the gym leaders. And then like
Average play time for the original, like the regular version of the game, is 30 and a half. So you're almost, it's just difficulties adding about 20 hours of playthrough.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And like also the final gym was 2 battles. Like it was Wallace, then it was Juan. So it was like the former gym leader and then the current gym leader as well. So that was fun. Luckily I could heal up in between. If that wasn't the case, I would have like not been able to get past that.
That's insane.
But, yeah.
I'm tempted. See, this I actually want to play. Like, I don't need, I'm not even the biggest Pokemon person, but
if you want to play a Pokemon game that's more of a challenge, Emerald Kaizo is one of the hardest Pokemon ROM hacks you can play. Like it is one of the hardest ones you can play. Absolutely. The Kaizo series, it's Blue, Crystal, and Emerald. Emerald's the first one that I've played. I'm probably gonna go like reverse order, so I'm probably gonna do Crystal Kaizo next in the future. But yeah, honest answer, yeah, anyone who's listening to this, if you're a Pokemon player and you want a challenging game, Emerald Kaizo, it is one of the hardest Pokemon games I've played. And you know, some people even ask me, would I attempt a Nuzlocke on the game? Absolutely not.
Someone here on Reddit hasn't. This is the first thing when I searched how long it was to beat the Kaizo version, what the average time was. All that popped up was his Reddit feed here. Somebody has 108 hours of game time in Pokemon Emerald Kaizo.
Yeah, it's not an easy game to beat. I'm telling you, it isn't. I mean, I think my next game though that I want to play Pokemon wise, I'm going to go through like a phase where I'm going through all these like modified fan games. Like, my next one in the future will probably be a version of Soul Silver that's been dubbed Storm Silver, which is, I don't think it's quite as difficult as Emerald Kaizo, but it's a harder version of Pokemon Soul Silver, which with a lot more level balancing, and basically the entire Pokedex is available for you to use, basically.
See, this stuff intrigues me. These like bootleg like hacks of Pokemon just intrigue me.
The way that I see it is that the fans got sick and tired of like Pokemon not doing harder games, so they just said, fuck it, we'll just do it ourselves and modify like current Pokemon games to be better.
See, that's by design. I think that's totally by design, because these games are intended for, kids. And if kids get frustrated enough, they won't play them, and then parents will get pissed and not buy them.
That's why I think in like these current Pokemon titles, they could actually have like modes. Like they could have like
that's fair.
Normal modes, and they could have hard mode for anyone who's like wants a challenge.
That's like they haven't had like an actual difficult Pokemon game. I would say like Gen 2.
That's a fair assessment. No, like, why do they not do that?
I would see Legends Arceus is the most challenging Pokemon game that I've played recently. That one was difficult. A bit different from the mainline, though.
I mean, it is different, but like if you talk about like core Pokemon games,
games, yeah.
I would say like it's been since like Gen 2, because like you can still beat like the Elite Four rather easily in Gen 2, but if you want to go for like the big fight, which is against Pokemon Red,
this is why I want to play Storm Silver. Storm Silver apparently fixes the level cap problem and like gives you more trainers to like battle with and play with, basically, which there's a big problem of Gen 2 is the level grind,
Yeah.
Okay. But now I'm sold on Pokemon.
Yeah. And I would say, actually, the most difficult Pokemon game that I've played from the main line was probably be Diamond and Pearl, because The Elite Four themselves are quite challenging, and then Cynthia is like one of the toughest track champions to like ever exist, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I'll probably just like butt stomper with flamingos or some shit.
You could
Call the
try, but
flamingos.
you could probably try, but she'd stomp on your balls before you have a chance.
Was Pearl and Silver? Which ones are Pearl and
Diamond and Pearl is Gen 4.
Those are the remakes, right?
Well, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are the remakes of Gen 4.
Okay. And then there was Sword and Shield is one of the ones I think I bought.
Yeah, for
Sword
the
and Shield
Switch.
is Gen 8s, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, and then I have that one that's like an offshoot or whatever, the Arceus, I think it is, or that one was actually kind of interesting to me.
That one, the final boss in Legends of Arceus, one of the hardest ones I faced on it, honestly. Like Volo is quite a challenge because it's basically a 3-on-1 battle, basically. Because like, you battle his original team, then you battle Giratina, and then you battle Origin form Giratina. So it's 3 boss battles.
You know, on the topic of Pokemon, I found out one of my coworkers, he's literally one of those dual phone Pokemon Go people.
Oh, I've actually got back to Pokemon Go recently.
He's one of those guys. He's like out there on his break, like with his
God,
cigarette,
just,
like flipping, like with 2 phones.
You see the shiny, shiny Rayquaza.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, dude, are you serious right now, dude? He's like, yeah. He's like, it was funny though, because when the game first came out, I didn't really have to do anything to get any of the supplies because we had the little, what was it called? The check-in thing?
Pokestops.
The Pokestop. Yeah, it was literally in our building.
That's actually cool because like the nearest one to me now is like down the road from me.
I used to have to like leave my house and go to the gas station.
Yeah,
have they taken them away?
They've added more.
They've added more? Oh, okay. I was wondering if they like cut them down.
The fact that what you can do if you get to a high enough level, you can actually request Pokestops / gyms and to be made.
Yeah, that was funny. I would just sit there and just swipe and keep getting stuff because the thing was literally in our building.
Yeah, when that first came out, there's like this part of this street that I'm on where it was like underneath like a train stop. So there wasn't like a bus stop there. There wasn't a store there. It was just a random area underneath the train tracks. But apparently, a Pokemon gym was there. So basically, when Pokemon Go came out, you'd find like 12 people just hanging out on their phones underneath the fucking
like gremlins
train bridge. They were like troll bridges. Like,
was the local dealer and the crackhead like getting pissed because you're putting them on blast?
Yeah, they're just hanging out. It's like a rainy day and they're just hanging out under there with their hoods on as if they're like a bunch of like drug dealers. No, they're just out playing Pokemon Go, trying to battle for the gym.
I mean, the nearest gym to me is like the opposite of that, the Zen to you, because the nearest gym to me is a church. Like, so it's the holiest of gyms.
Yeah,
that's funny.
You're just out here just battling Jesus. It's fine.
Yeah, I will never forget. Like, I forget which TwitchCon it was. I think it was the one in Long Beach. And I was out there with Tom and Brian. And we were sitting there like eating, and all of a sudden we saw a swarm of like 40 people just start running towards they started running towards the water with their phones. And I was like with Brian and Tom, we're like, what the fuck's going on? And then some guy's like, I caught it. I guess they dropped some like limited Pokemon.
It was like a legendary or something.
Yeah, they dropped some legendary water Pokemon or something off the waterfront there because that's where the convention center was.
The only one I can think of is probably Kyogre, because Kyogre is the god of the sea.
No, it probably wasn't around at that point. It's like this was
Lugia?
I don't know. This is like when the game kind of first came out, I think.
Yeah, it was still like Gen 1. I think it was either Dragonite or Lapras?
Either way.
Articuno?
All I know,
I got a Lapras from an egg.
I will never forget this experience of just sitting like watching like 40 people just run towards the waterfront, like in unison. And we were like, what the fuck is going on? I thought a fight broke out. But no, it's just a bunch of kids getting Pokemon. But I should probably open that game up again. I haven't touched that in a while.
Yeah, I've been playing it more recently because like my boss plays it and stuff. And today was a slowpoke event, so I'm getting shiny slowpokes.
Yeah, it would just melt my battery, my phone battery. I need a new battery. Like I need a new phone. Period. Because like look how like hold on. Let me just not have my screen on. Like look how broken my like cases and stuff.
Oh my god, that's a Samsung
falling.
with a button.
I know,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh my god,
Samsung.
It's old. I'm getting a new phone on Monday.
Jesus Christ,
It's
man.
so old that the case itself is falling apart. Like
Jesus.
yeah, it probably needs that. Yeah, this part's gonna come off next.
God damn.
I'm surprised I hadn't exploded yet.
I get, you know, you don't need to get the latest and greatest phone or whatever, but like, yeah, if you're still enrolling with a Samsung with a button, it's time.
At least I've never broken a phone before. I've never had to deal with broken
Well,
like
not
a shattered
intentionally.
screen.
I have broken one phone in my decade, like 20 years of having phones.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the gym and I was doing dumbbells. I was dumbbell pressing, and I guess I had the phone in my pocket, and when I laid down on the bench, the phone like fell out of my pocket, right? So I'm doing the dumbbell presses, and I dropped the weights to the side of me. All of a sudden, the music in my headphones just cuts. Like, and I'm like, what the hell happened, right? I'm like, what the fuck? But I pick up my phone, and I look at it, and like the front screen looked fine. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I had a hard case on it, and I'm like tapping the screen and nothing's coming on. I'm fiddling with the power button or whatever. And I'm like, the hell, right? So like, I don't know what inclined me to do it, but I pulled the case off and the whole back of the phone is just shattered and dented.
Jesus.
Like just shattered and dented. And I'm like, wow, I did this today. And then it was like 30, 40 minutes before work, because I would go before my shift started. So I was like, oh crap. So I finish my workout, I run and I shower and I like run over to the local Target and try to get a phone, because Targets here have like the cell phone stands in them. And I was like, you know what? I'm probably close to paying this thing off. Let me just pay it off and then get a whole new phone. And then I go in there and they're like, no, sir, you still owe like $350 on this.
Oh God.
And I'm like, well, guess I'm not doing that today. So I called like the insurance, because they told me I had insurance on the phone. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I called them and they're like, yeah, we'll fix it for like $100. And then they overnighted me a new phone and everything. It was great. But only time I ever broke a phone, and it dropped a dumbbell on it. It was about a 50-pounder. I was just like, damn. But I'll never forget, my headphone music just cut and I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, dude, get a new phone.
Yep.
Highly recommend a new phone.
Yep. I think
it
it's
swelling?
cheaper. No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's fine. It's just like the phone works, as the battery's not green.
Right.
I definitely think
it lasts like a couple hours.
Yeah, because I need a new phone when I'm in, because I'm going to the St. Jude Summit next month, so I need to.
Congratulations, by the way.
Nice.
Thank you.
I didn't even know they were doing that still.
Yeah, I thought they've stopped. I thought it was all on virtual now.
It's the going to be well, it was, but I didn't attend the last couple for virtual ones, because like the virtual events were always like on like an important days, or it's like, hey, it's on my birthday. No, I got a birthday stream that day.
I never got to go.
I get to hang out with some people that you guys probably know. Sadly, Evers isn't going to be there, but
Oh, that's a shame.
hanging out with gonna be hanging out with Sinel again, I believe.
Oh, I haven't seen her in forever.
Trying to think of who else. Oh, Twisty Chris. I think you know.
Okay,
him.
yeah, I
Twisty.
remember Twisty. I haven't seen her in a long time. Is Meg going down? Do you know?
I can't say for sure, because I don't think Meg's participated in the last couple of St. Jude, because like I think that's why like Evers wasn't able to join, because if you don't fundraise for St. Jude in a while, like I think they just don't extended invite. I don't think it's like it's like not all like malice. It's just like it's like, hey, you know, like it's for anyone who's currently or has recently been
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I never got to go. That one always stung a little. Like I never got to go, and that was
Yeah.
one of those things I always wanted to do.
Yeah, because I think you did that for like 3-4 years, right?
Yeah. I think I have 4 of those hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
it's okay. You know, congrats though, dude. I'm glad you get
Thank
to
you.
go and experience again. It's like from what I hear, it's always like a life-changing experience seeing the St. Jude
Yeah.
Hospital.
Yeah, it's going to be the very first time that I get to beat like a bunch of peeps from my stream team, actually. So I'm very
nice.
excited about that. And so what they're doing is my day is on that I fly out to the 26th. So thankfully it's after my birthday because the one year that the last time I was invited to go, it was during it was right when like the pandemic was hitting. So
oh yeah, that's
yeah.
right. It was like all on the fence.
but they wanted me to fly out at about 9 a.m. on my birthday.
Oh.
I mean, as much as off that would be, I was just excited to say, hey, I get to spend my birthday with some awesome peeps from Twitch. But then it got canceled, so happy birthday. I was sad that birthday. It's like,
That was a rough one, dude.
I'm
'Cause
home.
We're like
I'm
3
home.
years. I found out that was like the 3-year anniversary of the pandemic.
Yeah,
a couple
3
days
years.
ago.
Funny enough, like the pandemic happened is when like Animal Crossing came out and also Doom Eternal. I remember my birthday. That when my
They're
birthday
the same game,
literally
promise.
was. Yeah, well, yeah.
Doom Crossing.
My week. The funny, ironic thing is, the weekend the lockdown happened in the UK was my birthday weekend. So I was like, oh, guess I'm not going to see my friends then.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I remember
I,
going to the
uh,
grocery store. Like I went to the grocery store when the people were like panic buying or whatever, and like
Oh,
that was
God.
scary. That shit was just
Yep.
Toilet paper was scarce everywhere.
ravaged. I wasn't worried about the toilet paper. Like, you know, you get
In the
water.
UK, we
and
were.
you got you got water or whatever. You know, you can make it work. But
Exactly. All you need is just a towel.
yeah,
You see the hose.
yeah, you'll make it work. But
Fire in the hole.
but like the fact there was like hardly any food,
Mm.
and I'm like, okay, this is scary and it's a little rough. Like, good luck finding eggs. Good luck finding meat. I was
Yeah.
like, oh damn.
Thankfully,
Ooh,
like
yeah.
I was in a good space because
Yeah.
I was able to do everything that I need to do.
I was thankful that
Um,
I got a job before the whole freaking pandemic happened because it would have been rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mind you though, I had to like petition my boss like, hey, you got to let us work remotely because like I'm not, you know, I am not putting I refuse to like, you know, put myself at risk. So like I was, you know, gainfully employed, but then after that, well, my boss started hiring people from from the Philippines and trying
Oh.
to pay them their minimum wage, which is like $5 an hour, which is
Oh god.
like 33% of our minimum wage here, and it's like
Yeah.
that is illegal. I don't want to work here anymore.
Yeah,
That
that's
is-
like agency work, isn't it? That's like what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was wild. I remember work was wild too because I obviously like I work in IT, so like we were trying to figure out what was going on and what we were gonna do, and like I remember people just running into my office with like random laptops,
Mm.
and I'm like, they're like, hey, can you set this up for me so I can work with home? And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't know where it's from. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna affect our security, you know, I'm not going to bypass our security protocols, and like that was all day, like all day that week before, like, hey, I need to set that, what am I going to do? And then I was like, eventually I was like shutting my door, and I was like, stop, and I shut my door. And then it got to the point where the CEO got involved, and she sent out a company-wide email right away because people were literally like taking the monitors off their desk, unplugging
my
everything
God.
and packing it to take it home. So like the CEO seeing equipment just leave the office, don't know where it's going, if it's coming back, you know, like all kinds of stuff, because people are so like concerned about working and getting their jobs done, et cetera, et cetera. And then she put out this like company-wide email. She said, everyone needs to stop. We're going to work this out. Do not take home anything. And then to specifically in there, she pretty much said basically said leave the IT department alone. They're going to have information for you when we develop a plan. And then after that, everything stopped. I remember we moved like 1,000 employees remote over the course of maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Which
That's pretty good.
It's a lot of people to move remote.
What's actually interesting,
not prepared
for myself is I just had to get Parsec set up on my computer at work, and then I would use Parsec to remote log in.
Yeah, and do all that stuff. Yeah, we had to put we had to get people laptops, or we had to gather equipment first. It's like, okay, well, we got to get desktops. We had to get supplies to ship it. Yeah, like it was wild.
Also, I know this is just like a tad bit off topic, but the hilarious thing is, I checked a couple of days ago to see what my old job is up to. Yeah, there's no updates on any of their social media. I don't even know if the games are even up or running anymore. I have no idea if that company's operating.
I'm guessing it probably no longer exists.
Is the domain available? What was it?
It's still up there.
The domain's available? Like they own it?
Yeah, it's still up there. Just there's no updates. I don't think they have any employees working there.
Wow.
There's nothing on Facebook for anything.
Well, you dodged that bullet. Be fortunate there.
Yeah, but unfortunately, there goes all my references because I don't have anyone to prove that I was working there.
Ghost job.
And I don't want to talk to I don't want to use my boss as a reference either. Because
honestly, they probably look at it and they would do the same. They would see the same thing. They would see that the company's inactive or whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh, this company's probably not, up and running anymore." Companies close down all the time. I don't think they make too much of a big deal out of it.
Yeah, it's just how do I prove that work experience because I did everything.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of rough, but if you ever interview, you just tell them, "Hey, I looked into the company. It's unfortunately doesn't look like it's active anymore. The domain and stuff is still active, but it doesn't look like they don't have any activity as a company anymore." And most hiring managers would understand it's not unrealistic.
Yeah. I have one reference from a guy that I worked with, who actually he was really awesome. He came to me with the local Twitch events because he had he made friends there. It was really cool. So if anything, I can use him, but I don't have anyone that I can use at that last one because near the end, I ended up I don't know. I had a big argument with my boss, and if I use them as a reference, there's no way he would have anything good to say about me.
I'll refer you, Zenith. I'll say I work there. I'll make it look like you walk on water. You'll be hired in a minute.
Yeah. This man is Jesus himself, but born in 1987.
Yep.
Damn.
He is literally holier every time he walks into the room.
He's a human colander. That's why he's holy.
Yes.
I see what you did there.
This man has a lot of holes.
So,
oh my.
Oh man.
This guy's story has a lot of holes in it.
Has more holes than Swiss cheese.
Yeah. So I finished it. I finished the Resident Evil 4, the OG Resident Evil 4.
Nice.
Just in the nick of time. Enough to give myself a break to play a couple of other things before I go back into the remake here, which we'll talk about in a second. But what a hell of a game.
Yeah.
What a hell of a damn game. Did you play the OG?
It's a great game.
Okay, you did play it.
I did not. I actually haven't played it, but I have actually watched full playthroughs of it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And my takeaway is that you can see why this was such a huge, impactful game. It's affected a lot of current games. It had effect on Gears of War, Dead Space, as well as even Last of Us.
Well, another thing as well is that a side effect of Resident Evil 4 was that the Devil May Cry series was created because that was originally a Resident Evil 4 concept.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah. So Devil May Cry is a thing because of Resident Evil 4.
It's
very interesting.
Yeah. It's
But I would
definitely
say
one
that
of those
Resident Evil 4 is did not age very well. That's why it really needed this need a remake.
Yeah.
Like, it's not so much like the concept or the story. It's just like Leon, the controls isn't
God, the controls.
great.
Oh yeah, that was one of the
yeah.
biggest problems I had with the
That's-
game was the
That's
controls.
why I switched to controller, because I tried mouse and keyboard and gave up after like 5 minutes.
I wouldn't have. I didn't even bother. I was like, just give me a controller. But
Yeah.
that's the one thing I just despised about it was the controls. It took me several hours of playtime to get comfortable using the controls. They're very, very awkward.
Yep.
But the positive thing, I can see why this game is considered like the turning point for the series and just in video games in general. It really is kind of a groundbreaking game.
Yeah. It was the first Resident Evil game also to be released on multiple platforms too.
Right. And the one thing that chased me is because it's tough to say because part of me thinks 2 is the better game. But
have you played the original 2 though, or the remake 2?
the remake 2, that's why my consensus is kind of like if I go play the original 2, I might have a different take on it.
But I feel like the Resident Evil 4 remake could be, to me, it could be better than the 2 remake, which 2 remake was my favorite game from that year. So,
but 4 has like this. 4 has the perfect feel and vibe for a game. It's gloomy, it's gritty, it's the music is just great in it.
it's also goofy.
It's a little. I'll get there. But the game tenses up at just the right moments, and it creates this atmosphere that's just fantastic when you're going through, especially when you're going through the tunnels. I won't do too many spoiler type stuff here because obviously we have the remake coming in 10 days. But you go down these tunnels and the music is gloomy and gritty and it's very, very dark. The one thing I don't, aside from the controls, the one thing I don't really feel about this game that kind of just rubs me the wrong way, and it's not just this one, there's a lot of Resident Evils that do this, is there's always this change in scenery in the game that tends to throw me off and be like, okay, why did we go from this to this? So like for an example, you'll be on an island, right? That's very messed up. And you're like, oh, what the hell is going on here? And then you'll end up in a castle.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you end up in a biolab somewhere.
Yep.
And you're kind of like, why am I like, what garnered this shift? That's always the weird thing I have about Resident Evil games is like why this stuff shifts. I do feel like 7 and 8 fix those problems a little bit.
True.
Yeah, 7 and 8 I think fix those problems.
Maybe the 4 remake might also fix those problems.
I hope.
But I guess we'll see when the game comes out on Friday.
But that's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I see it. It took hours and hours of playtime, but I'm like, okay, I see why this game is so good. Because once I got into deep into it, I couldn't stop. Gotta love that rocket launcher.
The rocket launcher.
Gotta love
and also,
What
was the name of that guy in the helicopter? Was it Bill? It was Bill.
The helicopter sequence is fantastic.
Yeah, that was great. I cried a little tear when that helicopter sequence ended.
Dale, spoilers.
I know.
But so spoiler alert now. But yeah, so great game. Really, really is truly a great game, and it really is groundbreaking. I played it with like a bunch of HD repacks and stuff. I had those installed on top of my Steam version, and it made the game look great.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Like there's so many different ways to play it. Like I think is the VR release of Resident Evil 4 like officially done by Square Enix? Sorry, not Square Enix.
Capcom.
Fucking Capcom. Or is that just the fan made like VR port?
I'm gonna look right now for VR.
Capcom and Armature Games.
So it is a Capcom
Okay.
approved.
Yeah.
Another dev did it, but it is a Capcom release.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
official.
Yeah.
That's probably why. Because have any of you guys, or maybe anyone here in chat, have any guys given the Resident Evil 4 a try on VR?
I'm so scared to try Resident Evil on any Resident Evil in VR.
I wanna
I feel
try
like that would be
Resident-
my.
I think one exception to that is Resident Evil 8 in VR.
I wonder why, Dill.
I've watched I've watched Morgan play Resident Evil 7 in VR.
That must have been
she
fun.
did that?
Yes,
must have been fun
and
for her.
I also made sure that I made it worse for her
Oh no!
at every single opportunity.
How many noises did you make?
I was
creaking?
bribing Morgan's sister to just throw things in her room while she's in VR.
What?
Oh my god!
I didn't know Morgan had a VR headset. Which one was she using?
I'm not sure.
Was
Morgan,
it not the PlayStation one?
answers. Give us the answers.
Wasn't it only available on the PlayStation, the 7 one?
That I'm not sure. I would imagine. Okay, she's on the PSVR. Okay,
Yeah, PS.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, that's what I thought so.
I'd imagine the Valve one. What is it? The Index or whatever has it. But yeah, what a great game. You should see the chat right now, Dill. We all know why you want that Resident Evil 8 VR.
I say anyone play Resident Evil 8 VR. They want
Yeah.
to be picked up and by the Lady D.
If it's in 3D, like the boobs, like Lily.
The Lady Double D.
Yeah, just basically call it Resident Evil 8 Lady Dimitrescu edition.
That's what they should have
With
just
the
done.
VR logo right
If
there.
they had called it just that and had been focused on Lady Dimitrescu, they would have sold so many copies, so many,
my
and so many headsets.
So yeah, Resident Evil, like the OG version. I know this feels kind of like a moot conversation because obviously we're going into a remake that's probably going to wipe a lot of opinions about the original one, but I think it was definitely worth the play, and it really was like kind of like this piece of gaming
Yeah,
history there that really does change the momentum
Yeah.
of that series. Great
I'm
game.
glad that I played it. I played it like back in October, and it was really fun.
And on top of that, before we get into obviously the Resident Evil 4 demo, I did something that I didn't think I was going to do again, but I don't know why. But I fired up the Final Fantasy 14 again,
Yeah,
wiped it, and started a whole new character. I don't know why I'm
Ooh.
doing this.
you boredom.
It might be boredom. And I'm just like,
Wait, Dill, I thought you called Eric a bottom.
Oh
You
my
played this game
God.
because you're bottom.
No. Only you, Zen, are a bottom because you're always on the
Excuse
nose.
me, no.
Only Zen. Chat, we can all agree, right? Zen is a bottom,
Only
and nothing
Zen's
can
is my
change that.
website.
Only
Please
Zen.
subscribe. But
Only Zen's bottom is his website, actually.
do you have the Zensly to go on top of it too? Like you got to cover all those avenues now, you know. Remember, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
it's a very Zensual
Zen-
experience.
We got only Zens. We got Zensly. We've got how many more? Have we got Zentrion?
Yeah, wait till the Zen Hub comes.
Zen
Yeah.
Hub.
Boopity doom boom boom boom.
Zen House, yeah.
Zen
Morgan's correct.
House.
Zen House.
Zen's just got a whole empire. Can I invest?
Zenpire.
Zenpire, yeah. Can I
Zenpire,
invest?
How can we invest in Zen Coin?
So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna fire this up. I'm gonna actually give this thing a shot. The Endwalker DLC was on sale, which I guess is the last one up for like $20. So like,
Yep.
I literally have hundreds of hours of content I have to get through this whole thing.
May
But
as well.
The first, I guess, what is it? A Realm Reborn, the first piece of the whole Final Fantasy 14, series. It's like incredibly boring, and I just can't seem to get over that hurdle. It's a lot of like, go collect this, go do this for this person, go do, go hunt these things down. It's a lot of like menial tasks that really don't, I don't really qualify as a game. But from what I'm understanding from people on Reddit and stuff like that, is like all these, surrounded by all these menial tasks, is all this story building.
Yeah.
And all this story development. You're learning
Yeah.
about the world you're in and what's happened to the world and the characters that have come in and
Yeah.
out and done this and that. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just looking at this in the wrong light. Maybe
yeah, I
I need
have a
to.
buddy who's super into this and has been playing it from start all the way until Endwalker, and like he's like an encyclopedia when it comes to this game.
And like I'm thinking about, I'm like, you know what? Maybe this person, because for God's sakes, it's a Final Fantasy. There is literally a story and lore in this thing. There can't like it just can't be a game of menial task. Someone's mentioning the massager in the chat. We haven't seen it today.
That's because it's not in my room.
Oh, it's hiding somewhere.
Who needs a back massager would have a foot spa?
Oh, it's in the back seat. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Besides, actually, I've been pretty comfortable recently because I have a brand new cushion for my chair. Because like this chair has been really good. Like it's as you can see, it's mesh. You can see my hand a little bit here. So I don't have any like difficulty having my back being able to breathe. But I am a skinny person. I have a bony ass. I don't have much of an ass, if I can be honest. So because of that, in the last little while, sitting on my chair, especially after long hours, has been getting rather comfortable. So, but now I have a seat cushion that's it's kind of like squishy. It's kind of like this like little mesh thing.
Is it memory foam?
Makes it. I think it's actually memory foam.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I've been sitting so comfortably for long hours without a sore tailbone, sore back, or anything like that. So I am good.
I feel
Does
like
that
I
good
need
for
that,
your back?
honestly.
Does that chair help with your back? Like, does it keep your back upright and straight?
Yeah,
or?
actually, it's even better now that I have a bit of leverage to it because this does make me sit about like 2 inches higher.
Okay.
Because the issue was when I was sitting on the chair without, there's like a little space at the bottom here where it's like plastic. So like you can see like here, like here's plastics. Like at the bottom, there's like there's about I would say about like 2.5 inches between the chair seat and like the plastic part of the bottom of the back of the chair. And because I'm not a very big person, the lower part of my tailbone would be touching the plastic part.
Ooh,
so after a while, I would have like a sore tailbone because I'd be sitting up against like the hard plastic, and there's like this little like bit of a curve near the bottom, and it didn't really fit my back well. But now that I have an extra couple of inches because of the
it's like forming now, like right where it's like hugging and everything right where it's supposed to.
Yeah. So now it's properly supporting my lower back or my bottom, and I could just lean back and I'm completely comfortable. Like no sore shoulders or anything like that, so I don't have to rub any balls against my shoulders.
Okay.
So no penis today.
I'm glad.
Okay.
I'm glad that you've got it all worked out. You don't necessarily need a butt massager either, so like you're good.
Nope. The only penis that I need is my own.
Yay!
Don't lose that. It's important.
Yeah.
Kind of need it.
Useful tool.
So, back to Final Fantasy 14.
Nice.
I'm gonna see it through. I think I'm gonna see it through. Obviously, because obviously you're paying monthly to play this. But
I think honestly, like with what my friend tells me about it, you definitely should see it through, especially when you get to the DLC content.
Yeah, so like that's the hard part, is getting through all that menial task stuff and see what happens, because it really is like 50 hours of just learning how to play this game and do all the stuff that you can within the world. But we'll see what happens. I'm gonna see it through. And then plus now, like you can do it on the Steam Deck, so like I can kill time and stuff in bed or whatever and knock out quests. But yeah, that's Final Fantasy 14. I'll have an update on that, in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we go to the break here, the Resident Evil 4 Chainsaw demo has come. Obviously, this game is a week away.
Yep.
So, Dil, what do you think of the Resident Evil 4 Chainsaw demo?
It was fun. Like, it was just basically gives you a good feel of how the game runs and also what to expect basically in the game. That was like kind of like what it was, There was a little bit of like story content. Obviously, you see some of the characters from the original game, but more in new graphics. You get with Honeygun as well. You see her actually in her office rather than being on the phone call thing instead.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic. Honestly,
the original game uses that Metal Gear Solid like radio window screen
I
type of thing
literally
for the
took the
communication.
inspiration from Metal Gear Solid and turned it into that in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Just to make it a little bit easier on them. But obviously, with technology advancing and the team being bigger and everything, they could easily afford to
The
make
CG, the communication parts
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the story. Yeah, no, it looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you, by the way, did you kill the chainsaw guy? By the way, Eric, when you did your run?
I believe I did, yes.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
It took me about 4 attempts, but I did it.
Yeah, I killed the chainsaw guy. I got stuck in some we got to the part where you go to the churchyard.
Yes.
And I got stuck in this corner.
Ooh.
Where nothing was like, they surrounded me, which I'll get to that in a second here. So like I got stuck in this corner. I don't know if it was a glitch or what, but like all the villagers surrounded me to attack me, and not one of them it landed a hit on me, but I was able to just shoot and slash all of them. I don't know if it was a glitch or what.
That sounds like a glitch. I was just like being constantly chased by them and everything.
Yeah, and as soon as I got out of there, I died. But like when I was tucked in this little corner, I was fairly safe, and I was like hacking away and slashing at them. And so the first thing I noticed too was the knife. Like the gameplay with the knife really is a huge improvement.
But also with the knife, it has a durability bar, so it does break after a while. Yeah, they've done that for what they've done in Resident Evil 2 remake. They put it in the 4 remake.
So the knife now breaks.
Yep.
So you can't rely on the knife to get you out of tight pinches if it's not taken care of, which makes it harder.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you gotta use your weapons.
It's kind of like so it kind of like prevents people from being able to abuse spam pairing.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it's like mainly used for. I mean, it's also apparently, from what I've seen, it has like a stealth system as well.
They've added the stealth component, which I think changes the whole way you can play the game now.
Yeah. Would you say that it adds more tension because first of all, the controls are different in the sense of where you get to move around while aiming. Like it actually looks and feels and plays like a game from 2023.
Right.
But at the same time, it's still Resident Evil 4. But now with stealth and all this other stuff, like, does it still have that suffocating kind of like dread feeling that you have when playing Resident Evil 4?
If you encounter a lot of enemies and you like get surrounded, like
it creates stress.
Because I was stuck. You know that house bit where like you go in and then the cutscene kicks in with the chainsaw guy appears. Right. I got into that and I was getting surrounded by everything, so I was throwing everything I got at them.
Right, because realistically, you're not supposed to kill them all. You're supposed to just survive until the bell rings.
Yeah. It literally is a survival game.
Yeah, you survive until the bell rings, and then you get the cutscene where they clear the field. But to answer Zena's question, or at least what I think is going on now, is because now you've added these new components. You've eliminated the parry spam because the knife's got durability now. You can stealth through the game. Now if you just stealth through it and the difficulty didn't change and it was on the same level as the original one, the game would be a lot easier. But now that you can stealth through the thing, you have to raise the difficulty factor of the game to balance out those components that they've added. Because the one thing I noticed about this is that whole church scene or that churchyard scene was a lot more difficult in this one than it was in the original one.
Yeah,
a lot more difficult. It took me several runs to try to get through that thing.
I think there's like new animations as well for like being hit by them. Like I got skewered by a rake. I got like grabbed from behind. The grab from behind one. That's a new one for sure. I never had to experience that in the original.
Yeah, and that's interesting too because like I think if I remember right, if they stab you with the rake, they kind of like pick you up off the ground with it. There's now a delay factor in your ability to get away. Whereas in the original one, you get stabbed, you kind of like recover and can run away. Now, them being able to like fling you around on the rake or whatever, or the chainsaw guy really digging into you with the thing.
Oh God, that chainsaw guy literally like the new animations on that where he's like tearing you apart from the inside.
So the guy like digs into you with the chainsaw or whatever. That now delays your ability to get away, and it allows the enemies to come swarm you quicker.
I also like that you can parry the chainsaw.
Yeah, you can parry the chainsaw,
That's fucking epic.
which is just ridiculous
So
on
good.
so many levels.
Literally,
There's one little butter knife versus chainsaw.
I literally like the song that I can think of when that happens is "Rules of Nature" for Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. So it just reminds me of that scene where freaking like Raiden's parrying a giant robot with a giant saw.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, I can parry a chainsaw. Interesting. All in all, it looks great. The game looks great. It looks fantastic. All the vibes are there. It's creepy. The intro to the game is a lot creepier than it was in the original.
It is. The atmosphere is a lot darker compared to the original.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna actually have it in the pre-order.
I've already owned the game. Someone bought it for me for my birthday.
Well, that's nice of them.
Yeah, good friend of mine.
Pal gave me a Steam gift card, so I'm ready. But I go. Did you watch gameplay footage of it, Dil or Zenith, or did you just watch a stream of it, or what?
I didn't really get to see much, but I did watch one of the reviews of it, and then watch like another gameplay video. So it looks very, very solid. It's just right now.
The reviews also been pretty good too.
Yeah. So like I'm going to play it. Just it probably might not be for a while.
Are they doing it on? Is it hitting PS4?
It should be on all PS4 and PS5, I think. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to get it for like PC or PS5.
PS4.
Like because like eventually like I do want to like upgrade like my setup and get like a PS5 because you know I gotta hop on that Final Fantasy 16 bandwagon.
Oh, are you looking forward to that as well, like my buddy is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But
I missed that. Which one are we getting on again? Which bandwagon are we getting on?
Final Fantasy 16.
Yes.
Oh yeah, same here. It's on my list this year.
Which I think the same person who worked on Final Fantasy 14 is working on this one.
Right. That's why it looks all like medieval Games of Thronesy, kind of like it's going back to like that classic vibe. Resident Evil 4 remake is on PS4, so you're covered there, Zenith. If you don't make it in time, you're at least covered there, so you can play it. But what did you? So you think it? What other opinions do you have of it? I'm just curious here.
So, from the looks of it looks like they made several like quality of life tweaks to things that might have been nuances or just things that would probably turn off anyone that's playing Resident Evil 4 for the very first time.
Right.
And I'm not talking about like when the game first came out. I'm talking about like if I was say someone that's kind of like more attuned, like for example, sorry to use you as like an example here, but say Rude gave Resident Evil 4 a try for the very first time this year, like what would he think about it?
Right.
And so like some of the things that you would be experiencing, especially when you've got to play like some of the other Resident Evil games, you try for the very first time, and there's certain things like later on in the game in regards to say what's her name, Ashley,
right.
So I saw that there was some improvements in regards to that and a couple other things, and it looks like a lot of like Capcom knew that if they were going to do this, they needed to make some major upgrades to things that are probably like fine and acceptable back in the day when the game first came out. But for a game that's in 2023, there's certain things that should not be in a modern game or should be tweaked to work in a modern game.
For example, take Ashley out.
So what they did is they made some improvements to her that makes her seem a lot less of a liability or something that like takes away from the overall experience, because like is like from what I've seen, once you get to the part where like where Leon is with Ashley, it feels the gameplay takes a bit of a dip because you have to make sure that she survives as well.
You're protecting her, yeah.
I mean, you're still protecting her, but in a way that's, I don't know, a lot more feasible or where you can work around where it's like because I think I saw where
I
you
was gonna
don't
ask,
use
yeah.
I don't think you use your supplies on Ashley.
Did the
in, the
reviews
remake.
indicate whether you have to like protect her or does she take damage or anything like that?
I think they removed her health bar in this remake.
Yeah, they removed her health bar.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she now acts more like a companion, like an Ellie or
Yeah.
what Elizabeth in BioShock. They act more like a companion now.
Yeah, so like obviously I'm pretty sure if you fail to like protect them, or if they take like a little bit too much damage, like obviously they'll die and they'll be on you. But at least you don't have to be shit, I have to use my last healing thing because Ashley is dying again.
Yeah.
So
Help you, Leon.
That was the other thing I found difficult in the original one too, was the management resources. My playthrough ended up being about 10 hours longer than the average because I ran into situations where I had no ammo and I had to literally knife my way out of it.
Yeah.
And that took me several tries.
I like that they've also like brought back the organization of the suitcase, like the whole like being able to line things up perfectly so that it will it will fit in and stuff like that, because it makes the OCD players very happy.
yeah, I enjoyed that part. It's like ooh, Tetris, but Resident Evil.
No, it's gonna be. This will probably be the best one of the remakes so far.
I think it will be better than the 2 remake.
You got a 10 out of 10 from IGN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think 94 on Metacritic.
Oh, gee, that's the user review or the reviewer's review?
The reviewer's review.
Okay.
What's obviously like it's not in players' hands just yet, right?
No, it's
20.
It's in reviewers' hands at the moment, and then the 24th is when the viewers, the people who are playing it, like are casually or on stream or something like that, they'll be playing it.
Yeah, because like I just saw today, our lovely friend Rachel, aka Grace Athena, we had her on the podcast before Christmas. I believe she had some great things to say about the remake as well.
Okay.
It looks fantastic. The demo was great. A little glitchy in some cases, but overall it looks great.
Yeah. And then something that I've noticed as well from the demo is a lot of people are finding little secret things in the demo that are like I didn't find in my playthrough. Like you can get the TMP gun in the game.
Really?
Demo. Yeah. There's a little section where you can go into an underground cave bit and you get the TMP.
Huh.
I didn't know about that. And then the modders for this demo.
I saw the banana.
So
Someone
golden.
modded like a banana instead of the gun.
I've seen banana. I've seen Virgil model be modded onto Leon. I've seen Shrek being replaced for Dr. Salvador, the chainsaw guy. I've seen the brutal mod where someone's actually like up the damage and all the guns. So like it's brutal. It like takes off limbs on the enemies. Like holy crap! And the modders are like already at work on this thing.
Yeah, it's the score on this thing is just it's through the roof. It's 95 and higher average. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. That will of course be on the 24th if I have the
soon.
Still up here.
Soon.
I believe it's the 24th. I closed out the window, but yeah, Steam, please, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys out there when you play that one.
I'll be playing it on Friday.
Is it Friday? Is that the day?
Yep.
Yep, Friday.
This Friday.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys out there on that one. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we'll take a break here before we get into the news. This has been Good Friends, Good Games, and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, Good Friends, Good Games. We talked about the Resident Evil 4 demo. We talked about the OG Resident Evil 4, some Pokemon. Zenith's got more coffee, and he's just giving me this sultry look in the eyes.
I feel like.
Oh no!
He got a bad batch. He just got a bad batch.
I burned my tongue.
That's what you get for trying to be sassy.
I was about to say Zen looks like he's in like sponsor mode where he was trying to get like a coffee front sponsorship or something.
Yo, I actually tried applying to Madrinas and it told me no. I'm like, you fuckers.
Wait, you tried to what?
I tried to apply for Madrina's sponsorship, but they said no.
Wait, what's Madrina's?
Madrina's is so they actually had this at TwitchCon, and it was actually the very first TwitchCon that you and I were hanging out at, Eric.
Okay.
that discovered them. So it's basically like coffee in a can. It's like cold brew, but they are like flavored and they are so fucking good. I walked away. My pockets were filled with samples from Madrinas. It was great.
Wait, how did I miss this? Cherry
How did you miss this?
limeade.
Because Madrinas is amazing.
We're Madrinas, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I'm
you
looking at
see
the
like
right
a bunch
page.
of people that are sponsored by them on Twitch.
Let's see let's see here. Holbein Gear about Coffee Crew. I'm gonna guess is where we find it. Oh, okay, here we go. I don't know who any of these people are. But then again, I haven't been in the streamer circle in a year or two now. Oh, okay, Miss Kylie's in there. I know that face. Jesus, there's a lot of streamers repping this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and it's not fair. Let me in the circle.
How do you spell this again?
Cold brew coffee. I like how we just classic dark roast. Okay. Cinnamon chocolate churro, bitch.
Can you share the link in chat so that everyone
sure.
can take a look at some flavors?
Here we go. What? Oh my God. Birthday cake confetti. This is coffee.
What the fuck? This is like G Fuel.
Gourmet French toast.
I
Yo.
know.
Dark chocolate salted caramel.
I'm telling you, I've got my eye on the cinnamon chocolate churro right now.
That's the Sea of Thieves edition as well.
The Hispanic beaner in me is just
The heritage is coming out. It's like I must get some.
It's actually fairly affordable.
Yeah, that's why
Well,
I
get how
want
many?
it.
I guess how many servings am I getting?
How much caffeine's in these bad boys?
Okay, hold on.
All right, I gotta go to their.
I like how the
signature
Irish
series.
cream is all on sale right now because it's St. Patrick's Day yesterday.
Okay.
Okay,
They have
this isn't terrible. It's coming at about $2.50 a serving because 8 servings per container. So you're paying about $2.50 you're paying $2.50 a cup. That's not terrible.
They have they sell whole bean coffee as well, where you have to like manually grind it up.
Ooh.
They have cinnamon roll, chocolate hazelnut.
190 milligrams of serving of coffee. Okay. In caffeine. 190 milligrams serving of caffeine. Okay, what I will say is the sugar content of this is pretty high.
Ooh.
So if you're sensitive to sugar, this like one scoop has got 39 grams of sugar in it.
I
Yeah,
would be
it's like-
bouncing off the freaking roof.
That's-
bullshit.
Like, have you ever had like those like cold Starbucks coffee drinks?
Are you talking about the glass ones or the ones in the cans?
The ones in the glass.
I've had them once or twice, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that. So if you're kind of used to like the sugar content from those ones, you should be pretty familiar with something like that. I don't think it's as much, but you'll have like a bit of a sugar boost in there as well because like there's sugar in it.
I'm a big fan of the ones that are in like the cans, the nitro ones. I think they're in the little cans. Those I'm a big fan of. I'm not I don't drink too many of like the glass sugary ones. But yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Madrina's coffee. Okay.
That's it. I'm applying for this partnership again. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Do it.
Keep
I'll
going.
vouch for you.
Yeah.
I will vouch for you. Okay. We had some sad news in the gaming circle yesterday. Lance Reddick passed away at 60.
Yep.
He was on he was on TV shows as The Wire. He was in John Wick.
Zavala in Destiny series.
So yeah, we know him as Zavala in Destiny, and we know him as Silence in the Horizon series.
Yeah.
So very sad news. He's actually a fantastic actor. His voice all over work is great, and it's fantastic. And you know he's going to be missed. This is on IGN. Died at the age of 60. He passed away from natural causes. He was also in the Netflix. I'll read the statement here. Acclaimed actor Lance Reddick has passed away suddenly this morning from natural causes. Lance was best known for his roles in The Wire, Bosch, Netflix's Resident Evil, and John Wick films. He's survived by his wife Stephanie and his children Yvonne and Christopher. Donations donations in his memory can be made to momcares.org in Baltimore, his hometown. Lance will be greatly missed. Please respect the family in this time of privacy.
Oh, I got a little thing to show you because have you seen like any of those tweets of players paying tribute to like the actors, the NPC?
Yeah, I've seen
because he
that,
voices an NPC in Destiny, and players were paying tribute to him by surrounding the NPC. So you can see it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Something like right here.
Are you dropping it in the?
Yeah, put it in chat. Now so that everyone can take a look.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, they did this too when there was that really popular like World of Warcraft streamer, remember? That guy passed away, and then they like kind of like swarmed in World of Warcraft to like they had like gatherings and rituals and
yeah.
His voiceover work in that game is fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
He's really a talented actor. It's
his
a sad
voice
loss.
is like very unique as well.
Distinct. It has that James Earl Jones distinctness to it. Like you hear it and you know it's him.
Yeah. Like like there's like a few people whose voices that sound very that just stands out like in the crowd. Like there's obviously James Earl Jones, there's Morgan Freeman, this guy, even though like I wasn't familiar with some of his work, like his voice is definitely like a prominent one. And what's his name, Giancarlo Esposito, if you know who he is.
I've heard
that he voices in Far Cry. He's also in what is it, The Boys, and
you're talking about
Breaking Bad
Breaking Bad,
shows.
right? Yeah. Oh, this is great. Yeah, I see all these footage here of them like swarming in him and taking knees.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah. It's interesting. These people like they go and they do this video game work and voiceover work, and they don't know what the impact they'll have in that industry. And then here's proof of it right here. But yeah, that it'll be sadly missed.
Yeah.
It'll be sadly missed. It'll be interesting to see how Bungie handles the loss, and see how they handle the Destiny stuff going forward now.
Well, that's interesting because like yesterday, I mean, like Destiny news outlets were paying tribute to him. I just don't see anything from the official Destiny 2 Twitter or social media platform. Oh, there we go. We finally got one, but it was posted via Bungie.
Okay,
so
Bungie's Twitter.
And pasted out a notice saying Lance Reddick was an iconic presence on screen, in Destiny, and most importantly, in person. His love for community shined through in Commander Zavala in his uncompromised dedication to his craft, and out of the radiating kindness that touched those around him. To say he'll be missed is a profound understatement, yet no less true. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Get on Bungie there.
That's good.
Yeah, there's more photos in that tweet thread of the people surrounding at the embassy there.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people were like pasting their own, tributes.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that have spent a lot of their life in this game. So
yep.
That guy has like I said, that guy has a gentleman has a huge impact on these people's lives.
Yep.
So yeah, sad loss for the industry.
Yeah.
And based on your opinions, this may or may not be a sad loss for the industry here. Big news out of the streamer world.
Complete 180.
Complete 180
time.
Yeah, a loss we're happy about, but like no, there's no deaths or anything like that. It's just it's just the resignation of
Take it, Zenith. Put some conviction in there.
Go on, do it.
Emmett Sheeran, apparently CEO of Twitch, has resigned after 16 years. Apparently.
I mean, hearing this podcast like, I was the CEO.
Apparently, this was put out just recently, but everyone that I've seen talking about him were saying he probably resigned a long while ago, but they were finally putting it out there as news.
Right.
Because every single conversation that everyone's had, let me find something that, do you know Loco?
Yes,
oh, yeah, Loco.
Yes, Loco.
Yeah.
If you do not know, LOWCO on Twitch, Twitter, social media platforms. She does, I guess she does like streamer coaching now and does.
She does streamer coaching, Twitch news, the whole.
Yeah, she's very like
fully
ingrained in that industry and in this industry, and she does a lot of, business avenues in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, she is, she posts like a lot of like on Twitch news. She's like that one guy. Gosh, what's his name? He actually like is right here in Toronto. Like, and I've met him like quite a few times. And he posts Twitch news, but she posted this.
Zach Bussy.
Yes. So she posted a tweet last year at the last TwitchCon, and this tweet goes as after meeting with Twitch president Dan Clancy at TwitchCon, who's actually replacing Emmett Sheeran. So basically, IRL streamer Jake and Bake said, "I don't feel confident as a streamer on the platform with someone who is that out of touch. I walked away feeling like depressed." So, the president of Twitch, even though he's a bit more visible than Emmett Sheeran, but the thing is, though, no one knew that Emmett Sheeran was present because if you took like, have you guys seen Emmett Sheeran's Twitter?
It's literally nothing related to Twitch whatsoever.
It's really
Nothing.
weird. Before we get into that there, let's this is on the Twitch blog, the official Twitch blog, blog.twitch.tv. I'll read a little bit of this here. 16 years of Twitch, dated March 16th, 2023. I began my work on Twitch began in October 2006 when Justin, Michael, and I drove across country to New York. From New York to San Francisco, Kyle would join us a short months later when we get him a one-way ticket to fly out to San Francisco during MIT's externship. We were making a 24/7 live reality TV show about Justin's life, and I thought at the time it would most likely fail and give up in less than a year. My co-founders and most people we knew probably thought the same. I thought I'd start my real startup once that happened, but in the meantime, it was just too crazy of a stunt not to try. I'm going to paraphrase some of this because it's quite a lengthy blog. 16 years and 4 months later, I've never set up a direct deposit a second time. Justin TV Incorporated turned into Twitch. Twitch became a fully owned subsidiary of Amazon. Along the way, we've grown more than 8 million streamers a month. While the 24/7 reality TV show was in fact a bad idea, interactive live video on the internet has turned out to be a pretty good one. I'm going to shorten this here. What kept me at it for so many years? He's mentioned the love of the people, the work that they create, and the opportunity for streamers to earn a living doing what they love. They love creating context for the community, for streamers and viewers to come, or they love to create context for a community and streamers and viewers to come together where they can feel belonging and connection. Here's the meat and potatoes of why he is resigning. With my first child just born, I've been reflecting on my future, and Twitch often feels to me like a child I've been raising as well. And while I always want to be there if Twitch needs me, at 16 years old, it feels to me Twitch is ready to move out of the house and venture alone. So I share my decision to resign from Twitch as CEO. I want to be fully there for my son as he enters the world and feel ready for this change to tackle new challenges. I will continue to work at Twitch in an advisory role. He goes on to talk about how much Twitch means to him and the work he's done there. I've never had more confidence in Twitch's leadership, in all our people, in our product, and that I do today. Than I do today. For many years, I truly felt Twitch might die without my guidance. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that statement, but we'll skip through this here. I don't know how I feel about that statement, but Dan Clancy, our current president, and has been a close partner to me these past few years, he will fully step into the role of CEO effective immediately. He cares deeply about the Twitch community, its streamers, and our staff, and understands what makes Twitch Twitch. Okay. This goes into what, and then he goes on and thanks a bunch of people that have, sprinkled throughout his career here. And then he says at the end, "Thank you everyone for your support, your critical thoughts, your trust, and your help. We built something great with great gratitude, Emmett." Okay. So the reason is he's had a child. He wants to go be a father. That's understandable. That's respectable. I can appreciate that. Good luck to him.
He posted that on Twitter as well. Like, he posted a link to it. However, though, and this is what Loco posted out is, and just kind of like to echo the sentiment that he was so very out of touch of content creators, is that his tweet about his resignation is set to private.
Really?
Yeah. So you can't no one can reply to it. You can quote tweet it, but he's not going to see it. He's not going to look at it because he knows that it's going to be everyone just saying, "And don't let the door hit you on your way out."
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's been no one that has been so out of touch of what creators want, because it seemed like he was on an entirely different planet. People were look to him for answers. He'd want to tell you about bird watching or whatever fucking other shit he's into. It clearly seemed like he was just there to collect a paycheck, nothing more.
Right. And here's the interesting thing I always thought about this. So if anyone pays kind of attention, just like Zenith has stated here, he's always had this presence of, like, he almost seems like just a figurehead. It almost feels like, he's not even actually running it. What I always thought about, what was weird to me about this whole thing, was he never made it clear on his Twitter, of all places, that he was the CEO of Twitch.
No.
You would think that if you were working on, what's Twitch now in the internet space? Most watched websites.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, have you guys ever watched Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
I've not.
So it reminds me of when one of the guys, Mike, gets named head of security, but then they're like, "But you also don't have to do your job.
Right.
You just have this title so we can pay you." So that's what Emmett Shear feels like. Just a guy that's there to collect money, never be visible, never be anywhere. Because, like, I don't think anyone's actually seen him at any TwitchCons. Like, I've seen people.
He was at the last one, and that's it. That's the only time I've seen him at TwitchCon.
So here's what's interesting to me. So going back to his Twitter, he never had it posted that he was the CEO of Twitch. For someone that is the CEO, according to here in January 2023, was the 32nd most watched website in the world, you would think that you would put yourself on there and make it clear you're the CEO of Twitch.
Yeah.
What's interesting is he just recently added it too. It looks like, because he puts up there his bio says thinking about coordination, community, and connection, and working on Twitch. He didn't have the "and working on Twitch" part there for quite a while. So,
you want to know why that is? Because he didn't want to accept accountability.
That's a fair thing. Then Morgan said the same thing in here. It's like he sounds like he didn't want to be known as the CEO of Twitch, which has always been weird.
Yeah, that is like screaming that part out loud, but without actually saying it.
Right.
But like, he didn't want to accept any accountability for any of the problems that was having, because I'm not sure if it was him that said it, but I think Dan Clancy, when they were talking about like subscriber split, because Dan Clancy, so people celebrating this need to remember that Dan Clancy is now taking over as CEO, and he's the guy that put his foot down when he was approached about the 50-50 sub split. And he said that, Twitch is like a small business that happens to be owned by Amazon, and he's pretty out of touch as well.
Well, he's 20 years older than Emmett as well. That's another thing to consider there.
He looks like Kenny Rogers.
I don't know. Okay, looking like Kenny Rogers aside, I don't know
Yeah.
what kind of like. I doubt that has any effect on his qualifications. But what is interesting is that Emmett was the guy at the right age to really be able to dig in and figure out what it is that this community actually needs to thrive. And I don't think he did it.
But law,
No.
nah, because work's scary.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's interesting about it is I have a lot of different opinions about Emmett. It's hard to like really summarize it all. Very
Yeah.
few of it. I'll be honest with you. A lot of my opinions about Emmett, very few of them are actually positive. But
No.
it's
I can't really have an opinion on Emmett because he wasn't really very,
Yeah.
influential on the platform.
Like if I could find like any positive things to say about it, like if there's like, because even though I have my opinions on Twitch, like there's some positive things that Twitch has done, and Twitch has actually announced, like introduced things in the last few years. Like, yeah, it's been like that stuff is usually buried because of the shit ton of negative press that Twitch has been getting. But at the same time, though, there's still positive things. It's just because of how little his name or his involvement seems to be. Like, you can't really come up with anything positive to say about them. It's just, if anything, it's like they are so disconnected that you can't really say, oh, this person is responsible for this great thing that Twitch is involved. Because a lot of times it's like the lower people that have to push and push and push these kinds of people to try and get these things to be approved before they can materialize.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out like how I can summarize what I want to say here. So I think the biggest thing about, we can all agree here, is the biggest problem with Emmett was like his lack of presence. So when the disaster started happening in 2020, with all the sexual allegations and all those issues, he was almost non-existent.
Yeah.
There was no, I feel like any CEO with any credit or any shred of credibility would make a statement that had some reinforcement. A good example and a comparison in some cases is like Bobby Kotick. No statement, no nothing about all the allegations, et cetera, et cetera. Now, granted, legal may be telling him to shut up. That's, obviously a thing. Legal says don't say anything, carefully coordinated PR to get through the situation. And that may have been what the case was in 2020, but there was no words out of Emmett, nothing from his desk. It was just, this is what's going, like, it's on the Twitch blog or whatever. These are the avenues being taken. At least I can't remember. I may be wrong. Maybe he did make a tweet or a post or something, but I could be wrong.
I don't remember him doing anything or saying anything, honestly,
right.
during that time.
Even though I have my I don't have optimism really about Dan Clancy.
Well, I'll get to
over
Dan
as
in a
CEO.
second. I want to get to Dan in a second.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. I want to get to Dan in a second here, but I think the biggest problem I have, like the other thing I have, is like the guy Emmett never felt like he wanted to be there. You see him at the Twitch cons and stuff like that. He has no energy. He has no pride in what he was, the company, like what they were putting out there. You look at You look at Grant. Okay, it's a weird example. It's probably not the best example of a person, but you look at Elon. You look at Tim Cook. You look at, at the time, Steve Jobs. Those guys, at least they had some pride and some energy about the products they were announcing and the company they were leading. Yeah. Elon's kind of a whack job, yes, but at least when Tesla announces products and stuff like that, has some energy and at least some appreciation of what they're doing, right? And something that they're genuinely trying to sell you. Emmett, I never got any of that from Emmett. There was the one TwitchCon that was like virtual or whatever, and like he was dressed in a lab coat or whatever, and he looked like he didn't like they were doing like some weird sciencey theme or something.
I'm trying to remember that one. Maybe it was a fever dream that I blacked out my memory.
It was during the pandemic. It was one of those virtual Twitch cons or whatever. But the guy just looked like he was bothered to be there.
Yeah.
Like he looked like he didn't want to be involved in any of this, didn't want to announce, like talk about anything. He just didn't. When they did the whole when the situation arose about like the banning policy and the terms of service and stuff like that, and there was one streamer out there that was really hitting the nail on everything, and you know, she was getting canceled on the platform, etc., etc. And then they talked to her about, and they mentioned the situation to Emmett at the TwitchCon conference that year. He was just like, no solid answer.
You know, no comment.
Like it was like
no comment.
It wasn't a no comment, but he steered around the obvious answers, you know, to kind of try and save face or whatever. But again, it's a lack of transparency and a lack of anything. This guy, no idea what was going on with the company during that 2020 to 2023 era, 2022 era. No idea what was going on. No disclosures of anything. You know, was the 70-30 split real? Is the 50-50 split still a thing? Et cetera, et cetera. This is the problem that creators have when their businesses are in the hands of other individuals. And there was no transparency from the company. Now, I just felt like, and I've said it numerous times before, the Twitch gambling issues, the website had, all those problems. It was clear and as night as day, it was bright as day that he needed to go.
Yeah.
He just needed to go. Why he stuck around this long, I have no idea. You know, contractual agreements, something, I don't know.
I mean, people have been speculating that like he probably resigned at an earlier time. It's just they're finally making it public.
Yeah, that's the vibe I get. For all we know, he could have been gone for the past year and a half.
It wouldn't surprise me if like it was around the last TwitchCon time that's when like that's why he appeared there, because that was his last like outing as the CEO, and then that was it. After then, he was probably already resigned.
Right. So let's get to Dan Clancy now. I'm not too familiar with Dan Clancy because obviously I haven't really been ingrained in the Twitch circle, you know, enough to really feel the effects of the decision making, but Zenith can probably attest to this a little bit more. So go ahead and steer the wheel here a little bit, Zenith.
So earlier I mentioned that he was the one that posted about the sub split, and like as far as like I don't think we're to get much better as far as like how things are going to be like out of touch, because I still think it's kind of like out of his hands and more in what Papa Amazon wants.
Yeah.
But at the very least, the one thing you give to Dan Clancy is he is more transparent. Like you'll actually find him at events. You'll find him at like PAX and TwitchCon. Like you can actually like, it's kind of hard to get to talk to him, but like you can actually talk to him. Unlike Emmett Shear, where just look, because like I think Emmett Shear is probably looked like some guy that didn't belong in there. It's like, oh fuck, what do you mean he's the CEO of Twitch? Shit, who let this hobo in here? And no, it's a fucking Emmett Shear. But Dan Clancy, at least like you'll see around, you'll talk to him. So at least we'll have transparency. That's actually something that Twitch has probably been working on in the last year.
I've noticed this. To be fair, I have noticed that they're more open about like posting in the blogs and stuff like that, and the posts, you know, the Twitter feeds and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed they're more open about the information.
Yeah, I've also been part of their I think it's like a program where like you get surveys.
Yeah,
and
the
so
Twitch RPG.
Yeah, so I've been part of their survey thing for about, I think, the last like 3 years. I was hardly getting them for like a good long while, but in the last year, I've gotten like 2 or 3 in the last like 4 months, and they're like really trying to like look for feedback on various issues, you know, which I think is like, you know, a step in the right direction, trying to hear what people have to say. Like they talked about, I mean, I'm not sure like what I'm allowed to talk about, but they mentioned stuff, like more sensitive stuff, such as like they talked about ad revenue ship, because like I think they noticed how people were generally unhappy with how Twitch ad revenue was going down. Well, was nowhere near as good as it was like if you go back like a year ago.
Right.
And they also talked about they interviewed people. Well, they asked for people's opinions on do you feel you can be successful and make money on Twitch? So I'm not sure where they're going to go from there, but it's good that they're at least listening and like asking those hard questions that we have genuine concerns about. So I'm not sure if things could be better under Dan Clancy's leadership, but at least transparency is there, and we'll see where things go.
Well, this is interesting too, because like we're at this time right now. We're at this time now in the tech space where like stuff is dropping like flies. Microsoft's laying 10,000 people off. Amazon's laying off 18,000 people. Google's laying off X amount of thousands of people in this circles, and people always assess like, well, Amazon will never dump Twitch. They make too much money. Granted, yeah, they probably bring in heaps in revenue, but we don't have any idea how much it actually costs to run Twitch.
Yeah.
We can bring in $1 billion a year on Twitch can bring in $1 billion a year, but if it takes 1.2 billion to run it, they're obviously losing, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things we just don't know. We don't know how much Twitch costs to run.
Yeah.
There's always this, like.
The major problem that they need to address right now is YouTube streaming is on the rise.
It is.
Yes, Kick launched, but I don't think that they're a threat right now. Those bastards.
I think Kick won't even last a year, honestly.
No, because
so that's one of those things where the money will kind of dry, and then it'll.
Yeah,
I'll
share my I'll share a couple of my thoughts after I finish my thought. Well, about Kick, to be more specific. So, I think Twitch might need to go down a road where they're more competitive with YouTube, because right now YouTube seems to be really going somewhere with their YouTube Shorts, and you can like stream.
Get at.
Yeah, you can stream simultaneously with Twitch and TikTok at the same time, but you can't do that for YouTube. But at the same time, though, I'm seeing people get decent viewership through YouTube. So I don't know, guys.
I think Twitch's biggest problem right now is, one, YouTube is an issue for Twitch, because YouTube's going to get that whole platform up and running, and it's already getting there. Every big time broadcaster that they take and get on that contract is another hit at Twitch. But the other thing I think Twitch has a problem too is standard sitting in front of your computer or TV or whatever and watching streamers isn't the thing anymore. Now it's short form content, just like you said. YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. If TikTok survives, the government's working on that one, but like Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, and also short form content is coming back in a way that, because let's be realistic here. Most people, very few people will sit and watch, a 3 to 4 hour broadcast of a streamer. But they will go watch tons of the highlights. Most people, dip in and out of a stream, they lurk or they go, but very few are actually sitting eyes on the screen for the full 4 hours that a broadcaster averages. That's why it's coming down to the short form content, where they can clip out all the exciting stuff that happens in a broadcast, put it up on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and get the same traffic, if not more.
Yeah, I know that Twitch is trying to do things to, like they announced in a blog that one of the things that they're trying to add is where you can pin clips on people's streams. Like those are good, but the thing is they get buried very easily.
Right.
So there are short form content on Twitch that could do a lot better, But if they made them more accessible or easier to find, so that people can go through clips instead of having to just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, it's very hard to get a clip that actually goes viral. Because the thing that's always been consistent with my streams for the last few years is, I mean, my viewership has been growing, which I'm thankful for. But my viewership on clips hardly has, because it's kind of feels like people would rather watch something on YouTube or TikTok. Because like I made a clip recently from my last Elden Ring stream. I think that clip maybe has about like 12 views max.
Right.
But meanwhile, on YouTube Shorts, it's getting like 1,200 views.
Yeah.
And probably not as much on TikTok, but like a pretty decent amount. Nevertheless. So if Twitch can find a way to be more competitive, if with what works well with YouTube, and maybe they might have to look into, okay, so like we need, because not only do they need to find a way to get more people to watch their platform, and also just be with what is currently trending, which is short form content, they also need to find a way to get creators to stay with them. Because they have no problem getting creators started, because like it's pretty easy to start. Like the requirements to become a Twitch affiliate is rather simple.
Is it still 50 and is it still 50 follows?
50 followers, 3 average viewers, and then I think
so.
Like,
those parameters haven't changed. I don't know, man. I feel like the Twitch. I feel like the thing about Twitch is, I think the moment for them to be able to branch out and maintain the top spot has passed.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get, because look, everything's hindsight in 2020, right? You know, hindsight is 2020. You look at things now. One thing I've noticed too, as I think about Twitch, is Twitch is a very difficult problem to go rabbit hole. So let's say, for example, I find a broadcaster I really like. I like you, Zenith. I found you. I think you're a great streamer. I caught this live broadcast. It was great.
Well, thank you.
It's very difficult for me to go rabbit hole your previous streams and find the content that grasped me to you in the first place that I caught when it was live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I have done this in the past where I've made highlight compilations and uploaded it to Twitch, but they did very poorly.
Right.
So I'd much rather just shout up on YouTube and earn myself like an easy 100.
And that's the thing about
views.
YouTube too, is YouTube makes it easy and puts everything in one place. I go to your channel, I see your broadcast, I see your full content videos, I see your shorts all in one place. I was like, oh, I really like Zenith. Zenith's interesting. I can go rabbit hole down tons of your content that's quicker and shorter, and it's already done the work for me and laid out the stuff that I would want to see that grasped me to in the first place. It's very, very difficult to do that on Twitch. I find it hard pressed to see that people will go back, discover a broadcaster, and then go back and watch hours of their old previous streams and content.
Yeah, I would say this, when it comes to Twitch, it is easier to get started to actually earn an income as a content creator. However, though, the moment you start making viewership, it is easier to earn an income, like a consistent income, through YouTube, as opposed to Twitch.
Well, call it a hot take. But the income, I'm kind of becoming a believer now of watching other people do this. The income shouldn't be coming from Twitch and YouTube in the first place. The income, for you to actually make income that's sustainable and allows you to live on, that comes from building up an audience that allows you to get brand deals and, product promotion deals and all that kind of stuff. And, basically be a walking or a virtual billboard for somebody else, right?
Yeah.
That's where your true
I haven't really
income
made much money from my brand deals just yet. I mean, I've made some, but it's not a lot.
Right. Okay.
So,
which also I think to your assessment would probably be a work in progress too, right?
Yeah, that I can't really talk about.
Right. No, obviously, if you can't, obviously, then don't. But, But I would think that that's where the true moneymaker is. But obviously, you can't get to that point of broadcaster unless you develop the community that lifts you to that thing. And that comes with discoverability.
Yeah. So Morgan mentioned a very interesting thing, because she said she does not watch anyone's VOD, no matter who it is, unless it's short sections of it. Usually watch clips or highlights to get a feel for someone when it comes to a new channel. But a lot of times, it's kind of because like those clips, they only allow you to like clip up to like 90 seconds,
Right.
Yeah.
which is a decent amount. But what if there's like a certain section of the game where there was like an easier way to have like a stream summary? Like imagine like a stream summary where just randomly through, well, not randomly, but like maybe like with a bit of help with assistance from moderators or viewers, where you can have like up to like maybe 8 to 10 minutes of video that is kind of like highlighted from us to contain like very important sections of your stream, and where it's all just within the video and you don't really have to do much editing of it. Like if they can find a way to do that, I guarantee you there will be more demand of being able to watch these things. Like, yeah, it's very hard to ask people to watch 8 to 10 minute, watch a stream for like 4 or 5 6 hours or however long that person is streaming. But if there's a better way of showing, not just because I think Twitch, I don't know if a short form content is like, I don't think they'll be able to compete with YouTube Shorts and TikTok.
No.
But if there's a way where they can find like a happy medium of having short form content in a way that shows enough of what that person's stream is, and figure out a way to say, hey, if you like this, here's something you can do. Say, if you subscribe while watching this like 8-minute video, you'll unlock longer version forms of summaries of this person's streams. Then it could unlock not only like new opportunities for the content creator to make money, especially passive income where are currently not live, but in a way for people to watch more content of them in a nice and easy way to do it without spending. Because like I'm just trying to put myself in like the shoes of someone that does not have the time to sit through a 3-4 hour stream to know what happened.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing too. And Morgan, for the most part, Morgan's proved my point. Because like if you want to kind of like dumb it down to the layman's terms here, is basically Twitch at this point right now. Twitch in this day and time is the cable TV of content. You have to go and watch it when it happens to really be in the loop and figure out and get that moment. And then if you miss it, it's someone's already done the work for you and put it in a clip somewhere, or it's on a YouTube or something like that. Something that you can go watch in your own time.
Primarily it's like YouTube. YouTube's where I find a lot of like Twitch clips, like reposted and edited.
Yeah.
And
like Twitch is aware that content creators from Twitch, full-time Twitch content creators have to utilize other platforms in order to market their Twitch streams.
Right. And the interesting thing about that too is I think we're starting to discover is that now that people have figured that out and realize like sitting in front of a stream for 8 hours streaming all day isn't going to get you anywhere fast. They realize, oh, the TikTok and the YouTube and all that stuff's working better for me, so I'll just focus my content there. And then the Twitch end of it suffers, which then, as a business, Twitch suffers from it. Yeah. They're in a tough spot. I don't know, honestly, I don't know how Dan Clancy's going to get them out of this.
It's going to take a lot of work and effort. It's going to take a lot of work, effort. If he has to definitely be very involved in it as well. Like he can't just do what Emmett does and just like take a backseat and not do anything. Like he has to be.
You have
show
to
that he is.
You have to revamp the platform.
Yeah, like he has to like make new sections for the platform. He'd have to like change how clips are like the directory for clips is done. Basically, he'd have to the entire like website would have to be completely overhauled.
Right. They
That's
have to
right.
come up with a whole new game plan on how they're going to do this thing. They have to advance. YouTube saw it and they're like, oh, we got to advance. Short form is the thing. We got to go. We got to get moving on this whole thing.
They saw what TikTok was doing and was like, all right, short content is working. Let's make this happen.
I guarantee you, if Microsoft had the option to buy TikTok at the time and integrated it into Mixer or whatever, Twitch would have been in deep shit.
Yeah.
Because TikTok already had the creator base and the popularity.
Mm.
So, you know, it's all hard to. So both you and Dil, Zenith, are, you know, still in this Twitch space and really trying to work at, like, from your standpoint, like, let's say broadcaster career wise, how do you guys feel about like this whole thing right now?
I mean, it's kind of why I experiment with my content and why I upload it to multiple different platforms. Like, it's just to see how things go and see what works really and what doesn't work. I normally start off by uploading, taking a clip, I edit it mainly for like purposes on mobile, and then I upload it to TikTok, Instagram for real, Instagram Reel, sometimes on Twitter if I feel like posting on Twitter, I post it on Twitter, even though Twitter is dying at the moment. And finally, I will upload it as a YouTube Shorts like a day or two later and see how it does on there.
Do you see the results being better going that route?
It varies depending on what depending on what time I upload it, really, because like obviously there was that one TikTok that blew up and has nearly 1 million views that like out of nowhere, because that was just like good timing, because that was like the second day that the game I was posting about had come out, so that was just perfect timing. With YouTube Shorts, I think the highest I've managed to get is like maybe like 7,000 or 8,000 views and everything like that. Yeah. So it varies. I mean, the most recent one that I posted got like 200 to 300 views and everything. So
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the whole thing right now, Zenith? Because like you have a lot of effort and time and blood, sweat, and tears invested in your broadcasts.
I put so much of it into everything, and as great as it feels, like I really truly have built like a functioning community that from content creating, but at the same time it still does not pay enough.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm best served finding something else and then having, you know, Twitch is something that to like earn like extra income, but because even then, because I know people that are full-time content creators, and a bunch of them said no, I can't do this, especially on like if they were just on Twitch, they weren't earning enough. They
it's less than minimum wage after you factor in the taxes and everything.
And you also have to stream a certain amount of hours just to even get paid.
Yeah.
So like there's like one guy that I know that's actually been able to make a living off it, but it's mostly through like D&D podcasts. A good buddy of mine, his name is Conda Fiction. I've known him for about literally 9 years. One of my very first friends in the YouTube sphere, and he is and he's like doing like he was doing the same thing that I was doing, content creator on both YouTube and Twitch, and then now he's doing like a full-fledged D&D podcast where people actually like send money to the actual podcast itself. So he doesn't really make his money through Twitch. He makes like he does make money from YouTube.
Yeah, it's like ad revenues and stuff like that, you know, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, but most of it is based off of people like subscribing to the podcast or subscribing to their Patreon so that they could do cool things, because they have like an actual office down in the US, and they all like hang out there, and they'll have like a D&D table that's got all decorated, got fancy microphones, cameras, props, and it's called Just Roll With It.
I love it.
Have you guys heard it?
I've not heard it.
No.
I'm gonna
That's a
go
good
on
name.
Spotify right now, and because I'm not like big on the D&D community, but
But it does. He does very well for himself. He earns plenty from that. But that's because he's not relying on the how fickle Twitch and YouTube can be
I just
with their
followed it.
earnings.
Oh my, it's got they got quite a lot of big sub count there, honestly.
Yeah.
What, on Patreon?
On YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, he's hanging out with Slime Skull. Oh gosh, what's this other guy? He's very, very popular. Like, probably like one of them top 20 Twitch streamers. But yeah, basically they built themselves up to be insanely huge on the in content creation. It's been insane watching him. I think you're right, Morgan. I think you're right. I think it starts with a G, but I just can't remember.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
not that guy.
Goalie.
No, not Grizzly. Because Grizzly and him were like jumped onto it. I'm trying to think. It'll come to me. But then, anyways, that's not important. But what is important is it's really tough to make a living with it, because like if it's not, because like even if you're making enough money, their demands of how much you need to stream to earn to earn a living is kind of keeps you from having balance in your life. Because I've known a lot of people have to walk away from Twitch, even despite like how much money they were making. They said that it's just too much burnout for just trying to like earn a pay.
yeah, and I think on top of it too, not only is it just that, but it's just like all the community-based issues someone's got to deal with, like on Twitter and all this kind of stuff, and just the mental stress that comes along with trying to please everybody for the sake of your business or whatever. It's mentally taxing.
Yeah, like
especially when you're at this level where you are making a sustainable, livable income on it. It's a mentally taxing just trying to be in a mental state or a state to please everybody. You know.
Thankfully, I've not hit burnout. Yeah. I have I've worked so much, so hard, and I have not hit a point of breakout. Like I've hit maybe like physical exhaustion levels, and maybe just exhausted from like certain kind of like issues that are things that you have to take care of that don't really have any effect on your streaming altogether, but it's just like just little things you have to do, and that's like, oh, I shouldn't have to do this, but here I am, I'm doing it. But I've been lucky in the sense of where I love streaming, I love what I do, I love the community I've built. It's just, as far as the unfortunate part is that there isn't enough money for me to make through this that is good for me. Like if I want to have like a proper life, a proper house or anything like that, I need to put myself in a situation where Twitch not really like let me I'm not going to put Twitch away. It's just it needs to take more of like a bit of a backseat so that I can focus on my priorities, because Twitch unfortunately does not pay their content creators enough.
No, they don't.
Right. And I don't think they're in a position where they'd be able to. That's what I think I'm trying to get at.
Well, even if they wanted, like even if Dan Clancy says, hey, you know what, I love our content creators so much, now that I'm CEO, I want to give everyone 70-30 sub split, Amazon will be like, no, we like your money, and they're not going to listen to you.
Yeah. Or it's the whole thing where it's like, how are you giving them more money? You're already this deep in the hole.
Yeah.
I stand by the belief that Twitch is spending more than it makes. I stand by that belief.
I'd have no doubt about that. We've yet to confirm it because they haven't revealed anything about their financial years or anything, but like, yeah.
It's the server load, the bandwidth and the servers and stuff alone are a fortune. And I know this because I've seen the numbers for our company. Yeah. And we are nowhere near the size of Twitch, Yeah.
I will say this though, the one thing that might be putting the squeeze on them is advertisers are paying Twitch less. That's why a lot of the advertising packages for content creators has been abysmal and laughable.
Yeah.
I mean, there's someone that I knew, they're a bigger content creator than I am, and they were asked to play 7 minutes of ads an hour for only $30 a month.
Oh,
Is it,
7
I'm
minutes
sorry.
of ads an hour.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
So if that person's on for 4 hours, that's 28.
Mhm.
So they're
28
they're
minutes
3.5
of ads.
hours of stream time and 30 minutes of
Yeah,
ads. That's absurd.
that is absurd.
Yeah. It's an absolute joke. And so like thankfully I saw that stuff about like a few days prior to my to the last Twitch survey that I had to fill out, because I put in their my thoughts of their Twitch advertisement program. It's like, look, the Twitch streamer is probably going to make more money telling them that they've rejected the
ad,
the Twitch ad incentive payout,
the ad
because the amount of ads that we'd have to show just to earn an extra $30 is absolutely ridiculous. Like, even if you don't get subs, you're not going to be chasing away viewers. You're not going to be, because like,
right.
Because in Twitch
Retention.
streams, because in Twitch streams where like the ads are like very aggressive, I put that on pause. Like, I put their streams on pause. Like, no, this is way too much. I'm gonna go do something else. Here, I'll have your stream in the background, but I'm watching sports or whatever the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's, and then from what I've heard too from other creators talk about this type of stuff, is like, from what I hear from the back end, like the Twitch's ad, like the ad purchasing program is pretty archaic. Like someone has to actually contact a rep at Twitch, speak to a rep about ad packages and stuff like that, which is just stupid, absurd to me right now in this day and age, when you can go on Google.
It's like a 20-year-old process to try and actually, no, probably even older than that. Like, it feels like you're still stuck in the 90s trying to purchase ads via like phone. It's like, hi, can I get a...
whereas like someone that's working with Google or whatever and using AdSense, they can go purchase a block, an hour block of ad time, and then that hour block of ad time gets distributed amongst.
They probably don't even have to talk to anyone live.
No, you just
like,
probably do it on the webpage or the app.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Before we close out here, Dil, what do you think?
It's hard to say anything else that like isn't already been mentioned, honestly, because you're all pretty accurate about what's gonna about the way Twitch is at the moment. As I said earlier, the only way that Twitch could change anything for their clips is if they completely overhaul their entire like clip directory and the website in general, which is a lot of work and also more resources and money, which is something that Twitch, from the looks of it, as you said, Eric, doesn't have, because like spending money on servers and everything is insanely like expensive. I think the way to make money, advertisement wise, I don't think it's a strong thing to do, mainly because, like, as we've seen from the advertisement payouts, they're not great. They're chaotic. I think if Twitch are going to continue with the ad program, they're going to need to get in touch with their advertisements, and they need to work out some kind of better deal with the advertisement program, because it's not great. It's not balanced. It's like, 1 month it's very good, 1 month it's crap. Like, I think it was January once. December, the ad package deal was really good, and then for a lot of streamers, and then like January came around and it was completely shit. As Zen
it's
said,
completely fallen off since then. I actually, I haven't seen the latest, like, any tweets about the latest ad incentive payouts, because I don't think that they're. I think nothing's changed.
I think they're embarrassed by it. I think that's what it is. I think they're just embarrassed by it. And they won't tweet about it.
Haven't even checked mine, because I don't fucking care, because I'd rather.
I don't even know if I'd
rather just have people watch as little ads as possible, so that everyone could just enjoy my stream.
Build it up elsewhere. Build the revenue up elsewhere.
Yep. As I said, I'm hoping that with like, I'm just hoping that maybe Dan Clancy might bring some more positive change as well to
At
the
very
platform.
least, he'll bring on transparency to the platform, which is something we really, really should need. As for if we're going to be getting anything that's going to be positive direction on Twitch, I think it's like it's still trending in the right direction. But as far as like making this like a viable platform, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
they've got a lot of cleanup work to do.
it's
but-
a time game really where we'll have to like see what happens next, and then all we can do really is give our feedback to Twitch and then see where it goes from there, because
Go
like,
watch-
it's up to them what they do.
Go watch Emmett work for YouTube now and see what.
Oh god, imagine that someone actually joked saying watch Emmett become the new CEO of YouTube.
Nah, make him the CEO of Twitter because he likes birds so much.
Yeah.
Oh
Twitter.
Yeah, see the bird app.
I'm sure
How do you feel about this
Elon
going
will-
on at Twitch? Did you see that cockatiel? Like
Yeah.
what, sir?
Yeah, he's just out there on YouTube talking about his cock.
Oh
Oh,
my
Dylan
God.
needs nuts.
What was it? What was it? The titties or whatever? The birds, like
The blue tit.
yeah, the blue titties, something like that. All right. On that note, guys, that's it for us this week. We'll go ahead and we're gonna sign off here. It's been a long, lengthy conversation about Twitch.
Yeah, well, it
Yeah.
has to be. doesn't it?
Two news articles turned into an hour.
Oh, we
of
wouldn't have
conversation.
much to talk about today. Going to be a short podcast.
Yeah.
I mean,
have you
that's the
seen who you're
thing.
sitting next to?
Yeah,
It's okay.
like we're sitting next to two people who like do stream on the platform that we're talking about and has a lot of opinions about like the way Twitch is running and everything like that. It's going to turn into a long conversation.
If only somebody like came up with this website where you could sit there and play video games and listen to some guy rant about the shit that's going on in his life. I bet that would be pretty successful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just get a guy that doesn't know about birds to run it.
yep.
Okay. Next episode date, according to the calendar here, will be April Fool's Day, April 1st.
April Fools.
So there
Yes,
may or may
April-
not be a podcast that day.
April
What?
Fool's Day.
There
Yeah,
may or
April
may not be a
Fool's joke.
podcast that day.
The podcast is going to record on the 2nd instead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'll go really,
What we
really
need to
well.
do-
Yeah, so it would be April 1st would probably be the next one.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll,
then.
we'll discuss our April Fool's jokes. Well, after we're done recording here.
Gotcha. All right.
April Fools.
Again, thanks everyone for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We'll see you all soon. We're gonna sign off here. This has been Good Friends, Good Games. I got Dil. I've got Zenith. As always, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you guys again soon.
Yeah.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Don't end stream.